And we are live and we are back to do a match week 27 roundup. I got to take my time because I got to get it right. It's going to be 11 match weeks left. God damn. The race to the finish line is going to be a good one. Who's going to get relegated? Who's going to get those Europa League places and those Champions League places? Most importantly, who's going to win the league? Who's going to win the Champions League or the FA Cup? We know who won the League Cup, and that's Liverpool. And I'd like to take the time to say a big congratulations to Liverpool and their fans for winning only their second domestic trophy under Jurgen Klopp after winning the Premier League a few seasons ago. So, congratulations, man. Congratulations. Truly deserved. Very good run to the final and a very good performance in the final as well. The final could have went any way. It could have went to Chelsea, but it went to Liverpool, and the Reds are delighted. They're really, really delighted. And I'll get into this game a bit later, but we have a few Premier League matches to talk about. We touched on the Southampton game already, so we're going to have to just talk about 7 matches before we actually get to the Carabao Cup final. And I won't be long because I didn't write down any notes this week. I watched quite a few of the games and watched highlights for a couple others, and I didn't write any notes down. I figure I'm winging it today. But I do have notes for the Carabao Cup final, because that was a classic. That was a classic. Even though it finished 0-0, it was indeed a classic game, one to definitely remember. And when you really think about it, maybe it's a good thing that Man City wasn't in the final, because if City was in the final, it would probably been a pushover. It probably wasn't even going to be a classic. Probably would have been an easy win. Yeah, City win another Carabao Cup. Everybody called it the Mickey Mouse Cup when City was winning it, but I'm going to leave that alone for now. We're going to talk about that later. So I like to take the time to big up everybody in the house right about now. We got Abel in the house. We got, why am I not seeing your whole comment, man? Abel is saying, let's go. What a momentum boost for LFC to make a push for other trophies. Big up to the boy, OBOKK. How are you doing, Obi? Nice to see you in here, man. Brighton early because Liverpool won a trophy. Brighton early, man. Owen Dilworth in the house. Who else we got? Jordan Hyman. We got Steve. Steve won his first trophy as a Liverpool fan. Let's just put it out there. Big up to the boy Nippon in the house. How you feeling, Nippon? Nice to see you in here as well. Who else we got, man? Who else we got? We got Owain saying quadruple loading. Well, when there were talks of City winning the quadruple, a lot of you guys, I wasn't hearing you. You know what I mean? You see? Take it easy, though. You just might end up winning only one trophy. You know what I mean? Take it easy. Take it one day at a time, one game at a time. So, guys, make sure you smash the thumbs up button for the live stream if you haven't yet done so. If you're watching a replay, big up to you. Nice of you to come through, click the thing, and show your support. And thanks for the continued support that all of you guys have been showing to the streams lately. As I said before, I'm happy the Premier League title race is back on, because now we have something to talk about every week. You know what I'm saying? I don't want you guys to be like, oh, Dom's live again to talk about City and boast about City winning the league again. Yeah, City might go on to win the league, but it's not like a surety. You see what I'm saying? So I like it like that, man. I like it like that. Just for the sake of the channel. I like it like that. So, look, let's get into these Premier League fixtures, guys. Let's not delay. And let's talk Premier League football. Go through the results that we are yet to talk about. And touch on the big news and the stuff that went on for match week 27 this weekend of February 5th, 6th, and 27th. And Look, I like to take the time to say happy birthday to my mom. She passed away in 2015. Today's the 27th of February, and that day would always be with me. I'll always remember that day until I myself pass on. Today, my mom would have been 51 years old. So, you know, RIP to my mom. She continues to watch over the boy Dom. Okay, so only son as well, firstborn. See what I'm saying? She had me when she was very, very young too. So sad that she passed on, but today would have been her birthday. So special day for me, and it would indeed be a special day for Liverpool and the Reds too, because it's a day they won the Carabao Cup. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So guys, let's take a look at these Premier League fixtures. Let's change that view so you guys could see the things on the screen. Let's go to the results and let's talk these results. Get into each and every one of them. So we did talk Southampton versus Norwich, so let's do a quick recap of that one. Southampton 2, Norwich City 0. Che Adams in the 36th minute. Oriol Romeo in the 88th. That was a brilliant goal by Romeo. Tino Livramento given player of the match. Hassan Hutel and Southampton on the up. They're looking very, very good after somewhat of a poor. They had a poor start to the season, from what I could recall, and they looked like they were gonna get drawn into a relegation scrap, and they look like they could actually fight for Europe now. You see what I'm saying? I'm not talking Champions League. I'm just talking one of those Europa Leagues. You see, so Southampton are doing well, and I'm happy for them. They stuck by Hassan Hutel. They recently got a takeover. And, you know, sky's the limit for Southampton FC. So, look, in terms of the standings right now, Southampton are 9th after 26 matches, 35 points. In terms of their form guide in the last 5 games, they're unbeaten. So, pretty good stuff with 3 wins in there. They're looking very, very, very good. So, I did talk about this match already in the preview for the weekend, so I'm not going to go into this too much, but just to touch on Norwich. Norwich are at the bottom of the table once again after 3 consecutive losses. They had an okay, let's say, January, early February for the most part, but seems like they're about to go down, man. You know what I mean? 17 losses at this time of the season. I don't think any team has ever survived after 17 losses after 26 games. It just never happened. Same goes for Watford. It just never happened. So if these teams are to survive, it would be unprecedented stuff. So let's see what happens with Norwich. But as we know, Southampton are looking good, 5 points away from safety. And they are a very progressive team where we got to keep an eye on this team in the future, because they're going to look to make big investments. They got a Serbian billionaire took over the club, and they're not going to look to sell all their best players in the future, at least not easily. So congrats to Southampton on their great form, and let's see what they do for the remainder of the season. In terms of Southampton, yeah, we're going to keep it moving, guys. The next game will be an FA Cup 5th round clash against West Ham United, and the next Premier League game will be against Aston Villa on the road. As for Norwich, they face Liverpool in the FA Cup 5th round at Anfield. Good luck. And the next Premier League game is an important 6-pointer between themselves and Brentford, another 6-pointer between themselves and Leeds United before they meet Chelsea. So that's it for that game. We're going to keep it moving. But before we do, I'd like to take the time to big up to everybody in the house right about now. We got Ryan LFC in here. Congratulations, Ryan, on the Carabao Cup win. But you need to chill. Take it one day at a time, bro. You know. You win a thing, you see what I'm saying? You win a little Carabao Cup, man, you know. I'm happy for y'all. That might be the only thing you win this season. So calm down. Calm down, man. Okay? All right, Ryan? chill. Because I could recall when Manchester City was winning the Carabao Cup every season, you guys call it all kind of names. All kind of names. You know what I'm saying? And the way Liverpool was celebrating today, I would have thought that it was a Champions League. You see what I'm saying? I'm happy for y'all. I'm just speaking facts right now. I'm spicing it up a little. You feel me? I'm speaking straight facts right now. But look, I'm gonna rest my case. I'm gonna digress, and I'll get back to that a bit later. So the next game, I want to touch on. We're not gonna be super long on these matches, as I mentioned, right? Let's talk about Crystal Palace 1, Burnley 1. That was my prediction for this game, and I'm thrilled because I got it correctly. Yeah, when you do well, you want to actually commend yourself, you know. So Jeffrey Schlupp in the 9th minute, set up by Michael Olise. You got to give it to Olise, man. He's been on absolute fire this season. And Luka Milivojevic with an own goal in the early stages of the second half there. You got to give Aaron Lennon a lot of credit for that goal. So, good point for Burnley. Good point for Crystal Palace as well, as they haven't been in great form, but they came off of a win and they continue with a draw. But for Burnley, they have been in really, really good form. Burnley are one of the most informed teams in the league right now. To go with a Newcastle, a Liverpool, and a Manchester City, and a United. United, they haven't lost in their last 5, so you got to throw them in there, but they have 3 draws. But these are the teams that have been picking up some good results lately, and you definitely got to throw Burnley in there. So before we do get into the discussion of these teams, let's just take a look at the starting lineups that featured in this game. As you guys could see, Jack Butland in goal for Crystal Palace. I call that one. Even though Guaita is fit again, Tyreek Mitchell continues to be impressive, along with Mark Guehi, Joachim Anderson, and Nathaniel Klein is getting a run in the team in the absence of Joel Ward there. If you look at their midfield, the midfield was a bit different on the day, where they went with more experience of Luka Milivojevic, James McArthur, and with the youngster Conor Gallagher to complement them. Usually, this midfield would have a Kouyaté these days, a Will Hughes in there. So who knows? Maybe this was actually their Achilles heel by not actually putting out a more hard-working midfield, if you understand what I'm saying. Olise, Zaha, and Jeffrey Schlupp, who's been in good form, was the guys up top. For Burnley, Weghorst, you know, he almost scored in this game. Jay Rodriguez continues to get a lot of game time in the absence with the departure, I should say, of Chris Wood. Aaron Lennon has been a good addition to this team. Brownhill has stepped up big time. And if you look at the back line here, Tarkowski, me, and Nick Pope are the spine of this Burnley defense, and Connor Roberts complements the team very nicely. Typical quintessential Burnley type player, and Eric Peters, the Dutchman, with his experience. So, look, in terms of the game, a lot of chances by Crystal Palace. They were the more dominant team. Burnley, you know, they stayed in the match, and, you know, they're very, very determined outfit. They grind. They got their goal in the second half there. So, not a lot of opportunities, as I mentioned, for Burnley. And just for some stats for this game, 11 shots for Crystal Palace, 4 on target, 60% of the ball. Burnley only had 5 shots at goal with 1 on target, 40% of the ball. But most importantly, they walk away with a point from the game. So it's yet another game where Crystal Palace drop points from a winning position. And that's been their problem, not managing games properly. But look, still, a point is a good result. It is a good result for both teams, in my opinion. And look, in terms of the table, Crystal Palace, they have climbed up the table. They are 11th with 30 points. They're 10 points away from safety, with Vieira doing a great job, in my opinion. First season in charge, he got them playing some very, very attractive football. and it could only get better for Crystal Palace, right? So they're on course to have a stellar season. They will just look to finish off strongly in their last 11 games. So for them, they have Stoke City next in the FA Cup, Wolves, Man City, Newcastle in the Premier League, all tough games. To just talk about Burnley, man. Burnley, they had a whole set of games in hand, right? And the whole question was, are Burnley going to be able to capitalize on those games in hand and pick up some big, big points? And yes, they have. Yes, they have. They have 2 wins in their last 5. They only got 3 wins this season. So 2 wins in their last 5 is actually huge to go with 2 draws and a solitary loss. But they've been in very, very good form. They now have 21 points. That's 1 point behind Everton, same amount of games played. 2 points behind Leeds with 2 games in hand. And they do have 3 points behind Brentford with 3 games in hand. So you could put Burnley above those teams when you really think about it. You see what I'm saying? You could just put them above and drop Leeds and Brentford and Everton and them below. So Burnley are looking like they're going to survive. They were recently taken over as well, and they're looking to be a more progressive team. And you don't want to try to be more progressive from the championship. You see what I'm saying? Because you go down to the championship, sometimes you're not able to hold on to some of your better players because of the wages and everything. So Burnley would aim to survive, and they're looking poised to do so. Players are stepping up. That's the most important thing. Got to give Josh Brownhill a lot of credit. Cornet was the player in form, but he's like falling off the boil a bit with injuries and whatnot. But Weghorst has definitely been a great addition to this team, and they look to survive the drop. Their next game will be against a struggling Leicester City. They did get knocked out of the FA Cup by Huddersfield, and so they don't have that to worry about. They only have the Premier League to focus on. So Leicester City, a misfiring Leicester at Turf Moor, is the perfect game. And then a Chelsea, who they already pick up a draw against at Turf Moor, 6 point against Brentford, Southampton. They still have Norwich to play, Watford, Newcastle on the last day. Look, any team, Burnley would fancy their chances against any team in the league. Maybe not Man City, but any team. Man City is like their kryptonite. For some reason, they just get battered almost every time they play City. So they just might survive. I said in the past that I don't really care if they survive or not. But, they just might survive. Sometimes when I see these things and I see I was browsing on YouTube and I saw a little Burnley channel. And I'm like, it would be nice to have a chat with these guys. But if they hear what I say about their club, they might say, I don't want to talk to you, bro. Said you don't care if we actually get relegated and stuff like that. But look, Burnley are a type of team. They don't play pretty football, but they play effective football. A long ball could undo the tightest defense. And, you know what I mean? And Burnley, they got that in their locker. So, long ball FC, you know what I'm saying? So, that's my thoughts for that one. Well done by Sean Dyche and his boys. And a good result for Vieira and his. Could be more. I could keep going. I could go on and on and on. But we got a lot more games to touch on. So, we're going to keep it moving. Look, before we do move on, I'd like to take the time to thank Obi Okeke for dropping a super chat who says, most of Liverpool fans are career hypocrites, including our coach Klopp. Suddenly, we are celebrating domestic trophy we ridiculed. You're right, because Klopp basically shitting on this trophy a couple years ago when Liverpool went to the Club World Cup, where Klopp could have mixed up the Club World Cup squad and the Carabao Cup squad, but he just chose not to, and he insulted the trophy and took all the players to the Club World Cup and played the academy team in the Carabao Cup, where Aston Villa went on to batter Liverpool. I think that was a 5-0 win. And then Aston Villa themselves got battered in the final by Manchester City. So earlier when I was saying, yeah, it's a good thing for the Carabao Cup that City's not in there, because most of the finals are like very one-sided, with the exception of a few, of course, that went to pens, including the one against I think Liverpool and Chelsea. So, apart from that, Man City is a very exciting and a very boring team at the same time. You guys know this. You see what I'm saying? You guys know this is a fact. Boring in the sense that when you keep winning and winning and winning and winning, and people just people get more excited when City lose or draw. You see what I'm saying? After a while, it could be a little bit monotonous. You're just winning. So that's why I said I'm kind of happy that we have a title race right now. So, yeah. But appreciate you, Obi. Thanks for dropping the super chat, and thanks for the continued support on the channel. Big up to my boy Obina in the house, man. How are you doing, Obina? Who says Man City would have beaten both teams today. Relax. And Ryan is saying, "Are you mad, Obina?" Look, Obina is correct. Obina is correct. I think City would have won this final easily. If you ask me, I think would have won the final very, very easily. So look at what we played Chelsea twice already this season. It was a walk in the park for the most part. Played Liverpool once. Well, that game ended in a draw. You talk about the Carabao Cup final, that Liverpool City draw. Ooh, that was a good game. That was also a classic draw. We'll meet again in April. So, Ryan, let me see how good you are when you come to the Etihad. You know what I'm saying? Let me see, let me see if you're going to talk after that game. If you manage to laugh and be happy after the game, well, yeah, I'll give it to you. So, big up everybody in the house right about now, man. Patrick Guerra, how are you doing? Mr. Tedros, how are you? Who else we got in here, man? Big up to each and everyone. Hot Chili in the house. How are you doing, Hot Chili? Who else we got in here? AD in the house. How are you doing, AD? I have a feeling Liverpool versus Chelsea could happen in the Champions League quarterfinals. I would love that. That would be nice, you know what I mean? That would be nice. I won't want to face any of them in the quarterfinal right now. I won't mind a Manchester derby. I really won't mind a Manchester derby in the quarterfinal if Man United do go through. I have a feeling all the Premier League teams might actually go through to the quarterfinals. Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester City, and Manchester United. I have a feeling they all go through. Look, all three, with the exception of Man United, are poised to qualify for the quarterfinals. It's only Man United might be the odd team out, but they're home. They got a 1-1. They got to win the game at Old Trafford. So it's up to them. Ball's in their court. Big up to MVP Kevin in the house, man. How are you doing? Says he's heartbroken. Kev, you're a Chelsea fan, right? You're a Chelsea fan the last time. You're a Chelsea fan, right? So, yeah, guys, let's continue with this Premier League roundup right about now. And let's start these games. Talk about Man United. Let's talk about these bums, man. Let's talk about the bums. 0-0. Goddamn. I predicted them to win the game. And look at what they went and did. Look at what they went and did. They dropped points once again. A stalemate against Watford. So Man United have failed to beat Watford this season. That's the talking point here. And with 22 shots at goal, only 3 on target, 68% of the ball, I don't understand how they fail to score a single goal in this game. I really don't. Ronaldo's his stressful time at United continues. Poor form in front of goal where he's only scored once in his last 9 games. I don't know, man. I don't know. They're just gonna hit the back of the net. And you gotta credit Watford for staying in the match as well. One player I gotta give a lot of credit to, Musa Sissoko, man. Jesus Lord, this guy worked hard. This guy's a workhorse. This guy's a workhorse, man. Listen, even the Watford didn't really trouble De Gea on many occasions, and the few chances that they had, they blasted it over from what I could recall. United had numerous opportunities that they could have at least scored. Just couldn't do so. Got to give it to Samir. He had a big game. Craig Cathcart as well had a good game. But Sissoko, I think, is the player of the match. But they're giving it to Ben Foster for the saves that he made. But I'm telling you, I don't know how United didn't at least score and go on to win the game at all. Disappointing, man. When you're playing in front of 70,000 fans against Watford in the relegation zone and you cannot pick up a win, at least score, it's disappointing. You see what I'm saying? And this team should not be mentioned anywhere close to Chelsea, Liverpool, and Manchester City because they are not there. You see what I'm saying? They're just not there. They're not there at all. And look, if you want to touch on the lineups here for United, real quick, the lineup. De Gea in goal, Victor Lindelof, Rafa Varane, Alex Telles, and Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Harry Maguire was on the bench, from what I could recall. You go down, you see. These are the things. This is the club captain. This is the club captain on the bench. You telling me Harry Maguire is tired? Isn't Harry Maguire like 26, 27 years old? Harry Maguire is a young man. You see what I'm saying? He ain't like me. I'm 35 these days. You know what I mean? After a long 12-hour day at work, I'm tired. I can't even, get up to do this live stream. I barely got up. My wife had to say, hey, Dom, don't you have to do the live stream? He's 28. Don't tell me he's tired. He ain't tired. There's an article here that says Man United drop all English players for Watford clash with Harry Maguire, Jadon Sancho, Jesse Lingard, Marcus Rashford, Luke Shaw, Phil Jones, Dean Henderson all on the bench. What's going on here? You see what I'm saying? What is going on here? Your quintessential English club has no English players in there. Well, yeah. The article was wrong. Aaron Wan-Bissaka is English, but he doesn't really play for England, though. You know what I'm saying? So, all the players dropped, basically, man. So, pathetic performance. Anthony Elanga, could recall he had an opportunity. Couldn't score. Bruno Fernandes. Fred has been bright lately. When you have a team like this and you can't perform against a struggling Watford, nah, man, you deserve all the freaking banter. All of it. All the football banter should be thrown at Man United right now. Poor. Very poor. There had a few former players playing for Watford as well. Craig Cathcart. You had Tom Cleverley, Josh King, all played for Man United in some way, shape, or form. But you got to give Watford and Roy Hodgson the credit here. They were tight, they were compact, and they picked up a well-deserved point, in my opinion, here. So, look, the struggle continues for United because with these poor results that they've been picking up in their last few matches, the pressure is on United to get top four. You have 3 draws in the last 5 games, right? These draws coming against Watford. You have a draw against Southampton and a draw against Burnley. You see what I'm saying? 2 of those teams in the relegation zone. That's poor. That is absolutely poor. If you factor in the draw in the FA Cup where they got knocked out and the draw in the Champions League as well, it's not been good. It has not been good. And Man United fans definitely, they would want to see the back of Ralph Rangnick as soon as possible. Seriously. He came in to try to save fix things. I don't know if he I don't know. These results look Ole Gunnar Solskjaer-like to me. You see what I'm saying? These are the type of results Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was picking up. You see what I mean? Because if you go back to when Solskjaer was sacked, when was Solskjaer sacked? After the Watford game, Solskjaer was sacked, right? So Solskjaer picked up a loss against City, a loss against Watford, a 2-2 draw against Atalanta. They did beat Tottenham. They got a 5-0 loss against Liverpool. They did beat Atalanta. Lost to Leicester. Drew with Everton. You see the same type of results? It's the same type of results. It is. Because since Ralph Ragnick came in, he started well with a win against Villarreal, 1-1 against Chelsea, 3-2 against Arsenal, the 1-0 win against Crystal Palace. But then they reverted back to the Solskjaer days with a 1-1 draw against Young Boys. Barely beat Norwich a 0-0. A 1-1 draw against Newcastle. Beat Burnley, but lost to Wolves. You get the point. You get the point. Beat Aston Villa in the FA Cup. And then drew to them in the league. You get the point. So I don't see... It hasn't made a difference. It's definitely the same United. Same bunch of bum players, if you ask me. And where I said on numerous times, the whole team need to just be thrown in the garbage, and you pick out the good ones. You see what I mean? You pick out the good ones. And with the whole situation with Mason Greenwood and all of that, you guys know. Listen, I've been on point with this whole United team, man. You see what I mean? So I'm happy that they drew. I'm happy. I predicted them to win the game, but I'm absolutely happy that they dropped points against Watford. Okay? So, do I have anything else to add on this game? Let me see what I got for you here. Manchester United have failed to score in 5 of their 14 Premier League home games this season. They last failed to net in more home league games in a season since 2013-14 6. Watford's Roy Hodgson, 2 wins, 2 draws, is the 4th manager to go unbeaten in 4 consecutive away Premier League games against Manchester United after Jurgen Klopp, Sean Dyche, and Steve McLaren. Give it up to Roy Hodgson, man. Man United have never lost a home game against Watford. 11 wins, 3 draws, facing the Hornets more often at home in their league history without suffering than versus any other team. But still, the crowd was booing. They weren't happy. And of course, it was indeed another poor performance. Poor. When you cannot beat a team in the relegation zone, it's very, very poor. So in terms of the league table, they're still 4th, but 27 games played. West Ham, with 27 games played, right behind them with 45 points. Man United do have 47 points. But then there's Arsenal with 45 points with 3 games in hand. So you could technically just take Man United out of the top 4 right now. And look, for Arsenal, let me see who they play next. They play Watford, Leicester, and Liverpool. They won't win all 3, but let's say Arsenal win all 3. You see what I'm saying? Let's just say Arsenal could put themselves at 7 points ahead of United. And at that point, I don't think they'll catch them. So it's looking like, United might not get top 4 this season. Europa League. Start queuing up the Europa League anthem. Again, for the Man United fans. I think the last time they were in it, they actually won it. So, yeah. Oh, man. This is pathetic, man. Seriously. Anyways, for them, the next game will be, Manchester Derby against Man City at the Etihad. Oh, man. Sunday, March 6th. Tottenham, Atletico Madrid, Liverpool, Leicester. Man United might actually lose all those games. Not even kidding. They might actually not win a single one. Might not lose all, but they might not win a single one of those games. Let's see. Let's see what happens. 3 of them are at Old Trafford. The other 2 are at Anfield and Etihad, where they got battered by both City and Liverpool this season already. So let's see how this thing pan out for United. As for Watford, they're battling relegation. We know that's what's going on with Watford FC right now. They're battling relegation, and it would take an absolute miracle for Watford to survive the drop. No team with 17 losses at this time in the table, this time of the league, has survived. If you look at Burnley, who are in the relegation zone right now, Burnley only got 9 losses. You see what I'm saying? Burnley only got 9 losses. Everton got 14. They're not looking good. Brentford do have 15 and Leeds with 13. But Watford do have 17 losses along with Norwich. They have 19 points with 1 win in their last 5. They're looking good for the Hornets, but with 12 games remaining, they'll need to win a lot of those games. Okay, they need 21 points. So they need about 7 wins. 7 wins, let's just say. 7 wins. But it could also be, what? Let me see. It could also be, they need at least 5 wins because 5 wins will give you 15 points. 5 wins, 6 draws, that's not happening. You see what I'm saying? Think about it. Think about it. They can't survive this. 12 games left. They cannot survive this. And the games that they got remaining are against Arsenal, Wolves, Southampton, Everton, Liverpool, Leeds, Brentford, Man City, Burnley, Crystal Palace, Leicester, and Chelsea. So you got Chelsea to play. You got City. You got Liverpool. That's 3 games you could say they're not winning right there. You never know, but they beat Liverpool already in the league recently when they were in the league the last time. But still, they're not guaranteed to get anything from those games. So it gives you 9 matches. You see what I mean? They could survive, but they need to win at least 7. It ain't happening, in my opinion. That's my thoughts on that one. Let me know yours in the chat. Big up to everybody in here right about now, man. We have Alan Martin coming in here with the manners, saying greetings. Dominic, thank you very much for coming through. We got King Hoddle in the house. Son and Kane, most goal contributions in the Premier League history, 37 and counting. Thanks for the reminder. So if I don't mention that, we've already talked about that. Big up to Robert Robinson in the house. Big City fan. How are you feeling? Cuthbert McVeigh in here. Lennon Sweet in the house. How are you, man? How are you? Nice seeing you. Big up 5. Big up Dom. Big up everybody in here right now. Guys, we got a big Carabao Cup final to talk about later. So stick around, man. We're running through these Premier League results and we will get to the big game very, very soon. So let's continue, man. Let's continue. We got a lot more to talk about. So let's move on to the game between Leeds and Tottenham. And Leeds United 0, Tottenham Hotspur 4. And look, man, got some sad news here. Marcelo Bielsa has been sacked in the wake of this result. In the wake of the last few results where they have been absolutely piss poor. I'm talking about poor. They have dropped to the lowest of lows where in their last, let's go right back to the Aston Villa game. In their last 5 games, Leeds United have conceded 20 goals in 5 games. 20, which is absolutely ridiculous. I think Leeds United, with the 20 goals that they conceded in February, is the most a team has ever conceded in a single month. It's ridiculous. You cop 6 against Liverpool, and to back it up, you pick up 4 against Tottenham, 4 against United. Like, come on, man. Come on. This is embarrassing stuff, and it just shows how fragile your job is as a football manager. And Bielsa is a hero amongst the Leeds United fans. But business is business, man. And when these results start to go south, yeah, all that goes out the window. All the sentimental stuff goes out the window, man. You know what I'm saying? Because sentiments don't keep you in the league. Sentiments don't make you money. So Leeds are trying to preserve their Premier League status because it took them a goddamn long time to get back in the league. Bielsa was the man to do so. He came close, and then he finally got them into the Premier League. Had a great season last year, but this year, it has not been. They have been a shadow of the brilliant season for last year. And every time I think about Leeds this season, I think about Karen Carney. Karen Carney is a female commentator. I don't know her background too much, but last season she actually questioned Leeds United big time, and she suffered a lot of backlash from that one. And Karen Carney question was, could Leeds sustain the second half of the season after, a brilliant first half of the season? Could they sustain with this intensity and with the way they play under Marcelo Bielsa? And she was almost crucified, because of that. And if you search Google, under the results, there's Karen Carney, Chelsea, commentary, and if you scroll down, there's Leeds. So this thing is like big. You see what I'm saying? And she was on point. Because if we take a look here, she was on point. Her voice is really annoying, though. I just want to put it out there. No disrespect, but I hope my voice isn't as annoying, but I don't really like to hear her talk. But Leeds United condemn abuse of Karen Carney after club. Let me take a look at this from last year, right? Former England player said COVID breakout helped team go up. helped the team go up because when there was a COVID outbreak, it helped give the team a rest so they could come back after the break to push for promotion, right? And then she questioned whether they could survive. You see what I'm saying? And she received a lot of abuse, a lot of abuse when it comes to what she said there of Leeds United. A lot of abuse, right? So look, not gonna get too deep into this, but that just echoes every single time. Every time I think about Leeds and their form right about now. So Bielsa has been sacked. So let's just take a look here. Marcelo Bielsa. All right, club statement. Let's take a look at a club statement here. Club statement. Legendary manager, man. You know what I mean? Doesn't speak English. Understands English, right, I think, but doesn't really speak it at all. And Leeds United today confirmed the club have parted company with head coach Marcelo Bielsa. The 66-year-old was in charge of the team for over 3.5 years, having taken the reins in June 2018, and it's the longest he's ever stayed at any club. He transformed the club's fortunes on the pitch, which began with a 3-1 demolition of Stoke City at Ellen Road 2 months later, and he led Leeds to the Sky Bet Championship playoffs in his first season in charge. In his second campaign, Bielsa succeeded where those before him had failed, guiding the club to the Sky Bet Championship title, winning the division by 10 points and resulting in promotion back to the Premier League for the first time in 16 years. On the club's return to the top flight, Leeds finished 9th, securing the highest points tally by a newly promoted side in the Premier League since the 2000-2001 campaign. However, this season has proved to be difficult and the team has recorded just 5 Premier League wins. Leeds United chairman Andrea Rajitsani, however you say the name, said, "This has been the toughest decision I have had to make during my tenure at Leeds United, taking into account all the success Marcelo has had at the club. With Marcelo as our head coach, we had 3 incredible campaigns and the good times returned at Ellen Road. He changed the culture of the club and brought a winning mentality to us all. The moments created, particularly in the 2019-20 season and winning promotion to the Premier League, will of course live long in our memories, myself and the fans included." So I'm not going to go through each and every one of these sentences that's been written here right now, but you guys get the gist. Leeds will aim to make an announcement on a new appointment tomorrow. So Jesse Marsch, the American head coach who recently was sacked by RB Leipzig after doing very, very well with Red Bull Salzburg, is the favorite to take the job. And look, man, Bielsa, you did a great job. You know what I mean? You brought a different playing style to the Premier League where you guys just went gung-ho for 90 minutes and you did well one season, but you could see the effects of that playing style this season where most of the key players have missed games long term or short term, and it has definitely hampered the fortunes of the team. I think they should still survive, but you never know. Seeing the Premier League is very unpredictable, and anybody can go down if you're not playing well. Look at where Everton's at right now. So it's just really sad to see what's happening at Leeds United right about now, man. But it is part of the football, and everyone's not gonna do well. For teams to do well, there's gonna be teams that don't do well. So let's see what happens with Bielsa if he goes on to manage another club in Europe or go back to Argentina. And let's see who gets appointed as Leeds manager, and let's see if they could actually turn the fortunes of the club around, where there'll be a different playing style. I think the players might actually be relieved. You see what I'm saying? To chill with the whole murder ball thing. And who knows, man? Who knows? Maybe this is what they needed. Sometimes you got to get rid of the sentimental feelings and just do what you need to do to turn your fortunes around. So, yeah. That's my thoughts on the whole Leeds United situation and Marcelo Bielsa sacking. Was it the right thing to do? Yeah, you got to sack him, man. You got to sack him. The results have not been good, man. You're talking about 13 L's, 18 draws, only 5 wins, 12 matches to go. You're drawn into the relegation scrap, 4 losses on the bounce. Yeah, you're going to get sacked. I think Thomas Frank is the other manager under pressure, where the sentimental values could jump out the window as well. Where clubs are going to be like, man, we're thinking safety here, and we're losing. We keep losing. We don't know how to win football games anymore. You see? So Leeds 0, Tottenham 4. You got to give it to Tottenham for bouncing back after that loss against Burnley. They won against City. Well, wait. They lost 3 on the bounce. Smashed up City, lost to Burnley, and bounced back again here against Leeds. So Matt Dougherty, good goal in the 10th minute. Dejan Kulusevski has definitely hit the ground running in the Premier League, where many players come in the league and they talk about adjusting and whatnot. Kulusevski don't have the word adjust in his vocabulary. He just hit the ground running. You see what I'm saying? Harry Kane, after failing to follow up from what he did against City, against Burnley, he popped up with the goal against Leeds, and Son in the 85th minute link up with Kane, where the two players are now have the most goal involvement in the history of the Premier League with 37, as I think that was King Hoddle who mentioned that earlier, if I'm not mistaken. So a quality performance by Tottenham, I gotta say, good response, and this is what Antonio Conte expects of his team, and it's a great response because Conte had a meltdown in his last press conference there, where he says things need to be assessed, and people are saying, is Antonio Conte going to walk away from the job? I don't think he's going to walk away. You see what I mean? You got to stand up and fight like a man, and the team has to stand up and fight like men as well. So they did so on the day, got the better of Leeds, but they have to continue with this form and not win one, lose another, lose 3 on the bounce. You see what I'm saying? After the great start by Conte, I never expected that they lose so many games in such a short span. It's shocking. It's really, really shocking. But look, one player I have to point out here who has definitely stepped up big time, and we're now seeing him start to fulfill his potential, is Ryan Sessegnon. Ryan Sessegnon is keeping Reguilon out the team, and I'm telling you, this kid, of course, we know when he was at Fulham, he was linked with Man United and some bigger clubs, but he kind of went to Tottenham, got injured. I think he went out on loan, and I think he went out on loan, and now he's back and he's really playing some good football. Handled Raheem Sterling very good against Manchester City there, and yeah, man, they're looking good. Look, Leeds didn't really trouble Tottenham too much. I think Robin Koch had hit the post and there was another chance that wasn't taken, but it was a very, very one-sided affair, man. Very, very one-sided, where I kind of felt a bit sorry for Leeds throughout the game. And when I say one-sided, I mean, look at the result. Look at the result. They did have 19 shots at goal. 19, 19, but only 3 on target. You see what I'm saying? Whilst for Tottenham, they had 15 shots at goal, 11 on target. So you could see the contrast difference there, and it just showed in the result as well. Tottenham got to be mindful of that 19 shots at goal as well, where their defense has not been that stellar. You see what I'm saying? That is nothing to be proud of at all. But a win is a win. Lloris, we got to keep an eye on Hugo Lloris as well, where he has been a bit dodgy as of late. But big result nevertheless for Spurs, and another bad one for Leeds United. So, look, we're not going to linger too much here. We're definitely not going to linger. We got a few more games to talk about. But definitely big up to Son and Kane for continuing to link up for some very, very delightful goals. Rafinha continues to struggle. He's gone out of form. And maybe, who knows, maybe these are his last days at Leeds United as well, where Bielsa brought him in, Bielsa left, and who knows how long he'll stay there. He will look to move on to, greener pastures. Let's see if Leeds could survive the drop this season. Let's see if Tottenham could get a Champions League spot, but it's looking like Europa League or Conference League for Tottenham right now, if you ask me. So, look, just to hit you with some insights right now, Tottenham have won 7 of their last 9 Premier League matches against Leeds, drawing 1 and losing 1. With this, their first league victory at Ellen Road since 2004. Leeds have lost 4 consecutive Premier League games for the first time since December 2003 to February 2004 under Eddie Gray, a run of 6 straight defeats. Each of Tottenham's last 4 Premier League victories have come away from home at Watford, Leicester, Man City, and Leeds, the longest such run in the division since May to September of 2017, 6 consecutive coming on the road, wins coming on the road. So, good result for Antonio Conte and his boys. For Leeds, look, right now, Leeds United are in 16th place. They still have a little buffer there, but it's only a 2-point buffer above Burnley. 1 point above Everton. Everton do have 2 games in hand. Burnley got 2 games in hand. So technically, Leeds are in the relegation zone right now. Technically, when you really think about it, right? They're in the relegation zone, and that's not good. So we might see a situation where Everton, who didn't look too bad against City, Burnley could climb out, and Brentford and Leeds could get dragged in along with Watford and Norwich. And those 4 teams would scrap it out. And those 4 teams are 4 teams that have been recently promoted. You see what I'm saying? Whilst the more primed Premier League teams may actually use their experience and climb out of the relegation area, where we already see Newcastle doing that, right? We're going to talk about Newcastle soon. But for Leeds United, it ain't going to get easier for them, because even though these games are winnable, they could go the opposite direction as well. Leicester, Aston Villa, Norwich in a 6-pointer, and you got Wolves. They got some good fixtures coming up. That's one thing that could help them. And maybe they pulled the trigger on Bielsa a little bit too soon, who knows? But Jesse March, if he comes in, he'll have 6 very, very good games to manage before he gets to the tougher ones at the back end of the season. You see what I'm saying? There's also the last game of the season could be a relegation scrap for survival where they play Brentford. You see what I'm saying? But they still do have Chelsea and Manchester City along with Arsenal to play. So who knows, man? Who knows? Let's see what happened with Leeds United. But a lot of Premier League faithfuls would say Leeds are a team that belongs in the Premier League and they would want Leeds to survive. So for Tottenham, they're 7th these days, 42 points after 25 games. And the next match will be a 5th round affair against Middlesbrough, who are looking to knock out yet another Premier League team after doing so against Manchester United. Then they do face Everton, Man United, Brighton, and a London derby there against West Ham before the big one against Newcastle United. So let's see how Antonio Conte and the Lily Whites of Spurs fare in the upcoming weeks. So how's everybody in here doing, guys? Remember, we still have the big Carabao Cup final to talk about as we look to wind down today's roundup. So big up to Nelson, who says, Dominic, that 11-10 win on penalties compared with the same score between Villarreal and Man United. Indeed, that Europa League final where De Gea's penalty was saved, right? But De Gea didn't score his penalty. Big up to Mr. Gupta in the house. We have Tamil Maran. Tamil, bro, I'll talk to you, bro. You know what I mean? You hitting me with the nonsense in the comments about Mickey Mouse Cup. Everybody was saying the Carabao Cup is a Mickey Mouse Cup when City was actually bossing it. Why is it not the Mickey Mouse Cup still? You see what I'm saying? Come on, bro. Come on. Who else we got in here? Drew P in the house. How you feeling? We got Mr. Jack Ritchie in here. Wade Nelson in the house. Let me see. Great point here by Wade Nelson. Leeds play one way and never adjusted to the league, even when they lost a spine of Bamford, Phillips, and Cooper. Exactly. Switch things up. You have one style of playing. One way, plan A, nothing else. You can't do that, man. Bielsa, you can't do that. You see what I mean? A bit too stubborn. You cannot do that. If it's not working, switch it up. You see, it's like trying to, I'm a mechanic, you know what I mean? And it's like I'm trying to change a part and I'm trying to crack the nuts with a 17 millimeter ratchet with a socket or a wrench, but it requires a freaking 14. You see what I'm saying? It requires a 14 millimeter or 9/16, and I'm using the freaking 17, and I'm like, no, try something else. It's not working. You see what I'm saying? You're going to be there all day. You're not going to get it done. Bielsa, stubborn, man. Stubborn. So, look, let's keep it going. We got a few more games to talk about. Not going to get too much into this, but the Leeds United players got to step up big time, man. Look, we got the game between Burnley and Leicester coming up on Tuesday, right? So, look, Leicester, let's just touch on this one briefly. Burnley would fancy their chances of picking up the points here. They're going to be a turf more. I'm not going to make any prediction. I just want to touch on the game because it's one coming up and just want to touch on it. And for Leicester City right now, they are not doing too great. They got 27 points, no wins in their last 5 games. They were saying that Brendan Rodgers could be the next manager sacked, but it's Marcelo Bielsa. And this is the season. I did the research already for this, guys. This season have seen the most managers sacked ever in Premier League history. Ever. There has never been more managers sacked than the managers sacked this season. I think we're now on 8 or 9. It has never happened. You see what I'm saying? And Brendan Rodgers was under a lot of pressure. He's still under a lot of pressure, but I don't know if they're going to sack him, but you never know, man. If he loses the next 4 games on the bounce, he getting sacked, without a doubt. Norwich have sacked. Watford 2, so that's 3, right? Everton have sacked, so that's 4. Leeds 5. Newcastle 6. Aston Villa 7. 7, I need to use my 7, right? 7, keep track there. Keep track. 7. Tottenham 8. Man United 9. There have been 9 managers sacked this season. 9. It has never happened before. Never ever happened. 9. Ridiculous. Ridiculous if you ask me. Are we going to see a 10th manager sacked this season? Guys, I think we might just see a 10th manager sacked this season. I think it might actually happen. Look, Pep safe, Klopp safe, Tuchel is safe, I think. I think so. I think he's safe. Ragnick is safe, I think. Moyes, Arteta, Conte. Who knows? Who knows what happened with Conte? You never know. Bruno Lage is safe. Hassan Hutel, Graham Potter, Vieira. He's good. Steven Gerrard is good. Eddie Howe is good. But Thomas Frank, Brendan Rodgers, even a Frank Lampard. You know what I'm saying? Look, even Roy Hodgson could get sacked too. Dean Smith should be okay. They, even if Norwich go down, they could look to take Dean Smith down with them and try to get back up. But we're gonna see another sacking before the league ends. We are gonna see another sacking. Remember, I told you so. So big up to all 120 plus people in here. We have gone over the 1 hour mark. We got 60 likes, guys. Let's try to get the likes up to 100 likes. I will definitely appreciate that, man. You guys are the real deal. You've been supporting the thing big time all season. And now that the Premier League title race is back on and popping, you're going to come out in your numbers even more. Let's get some music in the background a little, you know what I'm saying? I want just some subtle music to help me, wind this thing down, man. So let's go. Let's talk let's move on to the next game. So Burnley Leicester. That's a big game. Leicester would look to bounce back with a win, and Burnley would look to continue their great form as they look to jump out the relegation zone. West Ham United 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. Look, West Ham once again, not at their very best, but still managed to scrap for a win. And you gotta give it to them, man. You gotta give it to them. And for Wolverhampton Wanderers, we know how good they've been this season, but they've been going through somewhat of a slump. Very, very weird that we're talking. We were talking some big things about Wolves, you know what I mean? Oh, they lost to City, they lost to Liverpool, but look at the other results around them, Look at the other results that they picked up. But they have now lost to West Ham. Their two trips to London. They actually played against Arsenal, stayed in London, and lost to West Ham within the space of 3 days, right? Not a very good week there for Wolves. Narrow losses as well. They did beat Leicester, beat Tottenham, but lost to Arsenal recently again. They lost to Norwich in the FA Cup, and before that, it was just good results. They beat United. This team beat United, drew to Chelsea, beat Brighton, barely lost to Liverpool and City, and they've suffered some setbacks. But it's just setbacks in my opinion, because Wolves have already hit 40 points, and as a new manager in the league, I think Bruno Lage have done a great job. Jose Sa, first season in the league, he's been great. But I think a lot of players got to step up. They have not scored enough goals, but also they have been one of the best defenses in the league. But only 24 goals scored is not good enough, if you ask me. It ain't good enough. Mine's a defense, but they're not good enough going forward. I think the team lacks depth. They really, really lack depth. And if you take a look at the lineup here for Wolves, Cody Kilman and Saiz has been the players featured all season, right? However, this team was not the strongest team put out against West Ham, and I was actually surprised by the selection, but I also understand the reason why this team was selected. You got to rotate. They recently played 3 days ago, and you can't really, if you keep playing the same players, you're going to suffer a lot of injury setbacks. So I could understand why Hoover came in. You have the likes of Marçal coming in, Semedo got injured. You see what I mean? I could understand why Fabio Silva and Trincao started this game ahead of Podence and Raul Jimenez. You see what I mean? So the team looked a bit light, a bit disjointed because these players haven't been playing with each other a lot. And Fabio Silva, I think they paid too much money for him. Trincao, is he going to go back to Barcelona? Do they want him back at Barcelona? Barcelona paid a lot of money for him. I think about 45 million, if I'm not mistaken. Sent him out on loan. He could go back to Barcelona. But they just didn't have enough on the day. And I think the selection was not the best. See what I'm saying? Yeah, Pedro Neto, João Martinho, Podence, Raul Jimenez. All these guys on the bench. Ryan Nori. And I think switching it up actually was the Achilles heel for Wolves on the day. As for West Ham, you know how gritty they've been. David Moyes recently came out and said they've not been playing the best football. But at the same time, sometimes you go through a period where you got to scrap it out and you're not going to win pretty. You're not going to win pretty, but a win is a win at the end of the day. So, another setback for Wolves. They didn't play too badly. They had most of the ball, but just not clinical in front of goal. And that drought in front of goal actually continues. They have picked up some good results where they scored multiple goals, but for the most part, they just deal with ones and O's, binary language for, Wolverhampton Wanderers. West Ham, as I mentioned, they weren't at their best, 39% of the ball, but you could say when they scored in the 59th minute, very scrappy goal by Thomas Shusek, set up by Mikel Antonio, they may have went in their shells, to just preserve that lead. I could remember they had a break in play, and David Moyes may have just told them, guys, keep what you have. Forget about playing this attractive stuff. Just keep what you have and see out the game. And that's the most important thing. Indeed it is. Indeed it is. So it's another big result for West Ham United. Not a bad game for Wolves, as they had many games like this season where they were actually the brighter, the better team, but still ended up on the losing end. And this game was no different. You know what I mean? So good result for West Ham United. And for Wolves, they would just need to brush this off and try again. For West Ham, in terms of their league table right now, they're 5th. They're overachieving, if you ask me. 45 points. And they have 11 games to go. They will look to get Champions League football. But if they could manage to go back-to-back seasons in the Europa League, this would do a lot for the club. This would make the club more attractive to players where they know they'll be playing in Europe. And they'll be playing some very attractive football in the Premier League as well. Let's see if they'll be able to hold on to their best players. You think of Declan Rice, Chelsea's all over him. So let's see if they hold on to him. Let's see if they hold on to a few other better players as well. Ben Johnson comes to mind. His contract is running down. Let's see if he'll sign a new deal. But across the last 2 seasons, West Ham, they have definitely been one of the teams to watch in the Premier League in terms of entertainment value. So 5th, 45 points, 2 points behind United. They're above Arsenal, but Arsenal do have 3 games in hand. And they do have, a 3-point gap above Tottenham as well. But this definitely put them 5 points ahead of Wolves, where if Wolves had won the game, they would have leapfrogged West Ham United. So the race for the European spots are definitely heating up. And for West Ham, the next game will be in the FA Cup this week against Southampton. Then they do face Liverpool, where they look to do the league double over the aspiring Premier League champs. Aspiring. You heard the word I used, right? Aspiring. So Sevilla in the round of 16 of the Europa League. And then they do have Aston Villa in the Premier League coming up. So some tough games for the Hammers. Let's see how they fare. Look, as for Wolves, they play Crystal Palace next in the Premier League. They don't have an FA Cup clash, so they relish the rest all throughout the week. And then they do have Watford. So Watford, Everton, Leeds, they have some kind of fixtures coming up, if you ask me, where Bruno Largen in charge will look to continue picking up points and to get Wolves back playing European football next season. So that's my thoughts on this one. Let me know yours in the chat. Big up to every single soul in here, man. Do appreciate it. So big up to Graham Copeland in the house. It says Liverpool are winners of the Litter Cup, your favorite cup. Just 3 more to go. Okay, tomorrow pick up my winning ticket. Put down what? £1? What is this? Is that £1? Or is that what is that you're saying? Is that £1 or 1,000? And to pick up, what are you saying? I don't get it. This is 1 out of 9 very good tickets. I don't know what you're saying, bro. I don't gamble. I don't bet. At the moment, I don't. If Pep wins nothing this year, will City let him stay in charge? Of course he'll stay in charge. Of course, for the great job he's done already. You know what I mean? We'll win something, bro. Best believe we'll win something. Believe me. We'll win something this season. My boy Antonio finally found life today. Yeah, Antonio played very, very well on the day, and I did put him as player to watch, so he did do very, very well on the day. You know, big up to Aaron Cresswell as well, one of the most underrated players of all times. So, yeah, quality left foot he got on him there, though. So, yeah, man, let's move on. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. Look, what we got already. We talked Southampton, Norwich. We talked Leeds, Tottenham. We talked Crystal Palace, Burnley, Man United, Watford. And we got a few games to touch on, man. We still got a few games to touch on. Let's talk, let's keep it moving. We got Everton, City, Brighton, Aston Villa, and the Brentford, Newcastle to touch on. It won't take long, guys. It won't take long. We only an hour 11 minutes in, so the stream is very young still, but we got to touch on the big one, the Carabao Cup final. You guys will have to stick around for that one. Let's go. Brighton 0, Aston Villa 2. Matthew Cash in the 17th minute. Very good hit. And look, I've been talking about long ball football. I've been talking a lot about long ball football. When things are not working, when you can't break down the team by passing the ball around, you just hit them with a long ball, man. It works every time. It works 99.9% of the time once you persist. And that was a brilliant long ball by Tyrone Mings. Ollie Watkins with a well-needed goal. 2-0. What is going on with Brighton and Hove Albion Football Club right now? They're a team that we give so much praise throughout the season. But Brighton have now lost their last 3 matches on the bounce. And this is very uncharacteristic of Brighton. Before that, they had only lost 4 games all season. Only 4. But with the disruption, have you guys noticed that since Dan Burn left Brighton, they have suffered? Dan Burn. Yeah, Dan Burn. Maybe he held the dressing room together with his humor, who knows? With his height, who knows? You know what I'm saying? But since Dan Burn left, their fortunes have definitely changed. And Newcastle's fortunes have went up and changed big time too. So I think Dan Burn is the common player there. Right? It's Dan Burn. Blame Dan Burn. But look, Brighton, 33 points after 26 matches. They have overachieved already. They were in the talk for Europe, but that, dream is slipping by every game that they don't win. And are they going to bounce back? The draw kings of the league. Are they going to bounce back? Crystal Palace have now joined them with 12 draws along with Burnley. So they could lose that title as well. See what I'm saying? It won't be a bad thing, but you don't want to lose it by losing games. You see what I mean? You want to win games. And Brighton would need to really get their act together. We know they're a team that do not score a lot of goals, right? We know that. Graham Potter has definitely been switching up his team quite a lot, and they should have scored in this game. McAllister, I could recall, had a great chance, and point blank range, he blasted over. They had good opportunities in the match, but look, their defense have been leaking a lot of goals, and this is not what we could. This is not a characteristic of this Brighton team. They're very good defensively, but in their last 3 games, Brighton have shipped 7. Well, let me get this right. Their last 4 Premier League games, they have actually shipped 9 goals. 9. No, I'm looking at the wrong thing. They did beat Watford. They have shipped 7 in their last 3 without reply. They haven't scored. And those games they have lost. I shouldn't have put the win in there. But that is not good enough. That is not good enough. And since Dan Burn has left the club, I think they have only won once. Dan Burn left in January. In February, they have lost 4 out of 5 games. They have been poor in February. Maybe they would just want to see the back of February and move on to March and, start winning games again. Talk about March. Jesse Marsh coming into the league, you know what I mean, for Leeds, and we getting into March. So March might be a great month for Leeds United when you really think about it, to just, stay on that topic there. But look, to just touch on Aston Villa, man, this is a well-needed win. Both teams needed wins, and it's Steven Gerrard's Aston Villa who's been, going through a bit of a poor period as well themselves. That was a well-needed win. That's only their 2nd win in their last 5 games. And with the quality that they now have in their team, I expected a lot better of Aston Villa. You talk of Coutinho, a Luca Dean came in to go with a Danny Ings, a Ollie Watkins, a Leon Bailey. You see what I'm saying? It's a lot of ballers in your team right there. And the results that they were picking up were very poor. 3 poor results on the bounce. And they pick up a well-needed win, because on 27 points there, not in a good region. You see what I'm saying? You have Newcastle creeping up. They could have passed you. They could still do. But they're now going to the 30-point range where they're seeing the finish line, basically. You need 10 more points to survive. Aston Villa got 13 games. They'll be fine. I don't think they'll have to worry about relegation, right? They're a team that were recently promoted a few seasons ago after going down, and they don't want to go back down in the Championship. It's too difficult to get out of the Championship. You see what I'm saying? And with Gerrard, I think he's an inspirational figure, and I think he's the right man to lead them. And he would just need to use these matches, these losses, the draws as part of the journey, and use the experience to make himself a better manager. So did play some better football on the day and kept a clean sheet, most importantly, and they won the game. So great performance, great response after those back-to-back losses. So look, I'm not going to be too long-winded, but Danny Ings do need to start scoring some goals, indeed. Definitely got to step up. But, nice of Ollie Watkins to get back on the score sheet here. So, look, for Aston Villa, their next game will be against Southampton in the league. Then they do have Leeds United, West Ham, and Arsenal. Some nice games coming up for them, I got to say. Nice games. Nice, very nice. They do play Man City on the last match day. Still do have Liverpool and Tottenham left to play along with Leicester. So a lot of big games left for Aston Villa. So they better start picking up some more wins and get closer to safety, because if you're going to depend on those back end, games there, nah, it won't be too smooth. So look, Villa, as I mentioned, they're 12th, 30 points. And as for Brighton, they're 10th with 33 points, 3 losses on the bounce. Graham Potter, you gotta pull the wand out and work the magic. You gotta do something. Something gotta, be done. The players gotta step up, man. Jakob Moder, McAllister, Yves Bissouma, these guys gotta start stepping up. Mupé, You see what I mean? Lallana was injured for this game. Guys got to step up, man, because you can't depend on one set of players to produce the goods. Sanchez, he have been, having a horrid time in goal across the last 10 games or so, where I think he has only kept one clean sheet. So very uncharacteristic of this Brighton team this season. So, look, their next game is against Newcastle. That's going to be a very, very interesting one, man, because Newcastle are on the up, and they would fancy their chances of winning that game. Then Brighton do play Liverpool, Tottenham, Man City. Guys, they could lose all 4 of these games. And if they do lose 7 games on the bounce, which is not, it's not likely to happen, but it could happen. I don't think Graham Potter will get the sack, but you never know with these. You never ever know with these clubs, man. You never know. It's they gotta pick up the points. They're not in the clear yet. 7 points needed. They should survive, but I thought they were actually gonna have a great season. Maybe hit 50 plus points, close to 60. Seems like it might be just another 40-something point season for Brighton. You see what I'm saying? Well, last season they only got 41. It seems like they might only get 40-something this season again, which is sad when you think about it. Then think about how good they've been playing. So it's my thoughts on that game. We're not gonna stay super long on that one, but big up to Online School. Who else you got in here, man? Nelson in the house, and everybody's still tuned in. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Do appreciate the continued support. Guys, we got 69 likes. We need 6 more to hit 75. Make sure you smash up the thumbs up button. Help the stream up to 75 thumbs up. Let's keep it moving. It's now 11:04 local time, and I don't plan to be down here until 1 a.m. I got work in the morning and a long day ahead of me as well. So let's touch on Brentford, Newcastle. Brentford 0, Newcastle United 2. Josh Da Silva recently returned from a long-term injury, and that was just dumb. I don't think he intentionally stepped on Matt Target, but he was actually trying to shield the ball. So footballers do this thing where they shield. But whenever you do that, you stand the risk of actually hurting the opposition player. And that is exactly what happened, where he wasn't looking and he stepped on Target's ankle. Initially, nothing was given. But on VAR review, he was sent straight off. And I think that hampered Brentford. Big time. Big time. You're struggling where I think they have been probably the worst team in 2022. And that's not a great way to start. You see what I mean? It ain't a great way to start the damn game. But Newcastle, who are lacking the firepower of Kieran Trippier, Callum Wilson, and even an Alon Saint-Maximin, just keep picking up these points. They go into what you call a purple patch. This is indeed one of the most remarkable renaissances of all time, because they've been on a magnificent run. You talk about a magnificent run. You go back to the 1-1 draw against Manchester United on the 27th of December. They did get knocked out of the FA Cup by Cambridge United. Forget that. They don't need the FA Cup and the distraction. They don't need that. They picked up a 1-1 draw against Watford. They beat Leeds United 1-0, beat Everton 3-1, beat Villa 1-0, drew 1-1 with West Ham, and beat Brentford 2-0. And this is how Newcastle are potentially saving their season. In every single game since the loss against City and the loss against Liverpool and the loss against Leicester City, they haven't lost a single game in the league. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games now without a loss. And most importantly, there's been 4 wins in there. 4 wins. Where before that, Newcastle only had a single win this season. A win they picked up against Burnley. So this is remarkable stuff by Eddie Howe, right? I'm happy for Howe. How are they going to manage it? How are they going to manage to get out the relegation zone and survive after the big takeover? Eddie Howe. That's how. That's how they're doing it. And his selection has been on point, and just how he's managed games. They have 4 wins in their last 5 games. This is absolutely nuts. This is nuts. This is what you call a renaissance. This is a renaissance, a rebirth. Literally. You sack Steve Bruce, you bring in Howe, you spend a whole lot of money in January. Some players are enjoying a new lease on life. Joe Willock, Joe Linton. You know what I'm saying? Listen, the team is not filled with your average Joes anymore. You know what I'm saying? So, come on, man. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Big up to Newcastle. Dan Burn has added Chris Wood, even though he's not scoring, he has definitely added something up top. See what I mean? But the player who has stepped up big time in the absence of Alon St-Maximin, Callum Wilson, Kieran Trippier, Ryan Fraser, we are seeing that Bournemouth Ryan Fraser that picked up the 14 assists in the league that season, I think, and was linked with a move to Arsenal. Ryan Fraser is finally earning his money at Newcastle. He was damn good in this game. Got to give it up to him. Joe Linton, the header, 33rd minute. Ryan Fraser with the cross. And there was a header by Chris Wood previously where that was Fraser with the cross as well. Chris Wood didn't hit it properly. And Fabian Shaw laying off that ball on the counter to Joe Willock, who opened up his body to score. Emphatic celebration with the knee slide. And it was just brilliant. It was just brilliant to watch, man. You know, these players, you know, they enjoying their football. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them knee sliding. You know, it just shows how much it meant to them. And look, you see that? You see, I didn't even see this. Ryan Fraser, man of the match. Man of the match. But look, well played to Newcastle. Eddie Howe are doing well. Newcastle in the next 5 years could be in the Champions League. Who knows? Maybe in 2 years, they're going to be a very attractive club. They have already signed Bruno Guimaraes. Seen him off the bench. Matt Target signed as well. And he may look to sign on a permanent basis. And look for some more big names. You know what I mean? We won't see an Mbappe. But who knows who you're going to see at Newcastle, man, next season. I'm excited for this summer's transfer window. Really, really excited. Really excited. But look, what we got to actually talk about is Brentford, their poor form, but more importantly, this man right here, Christian Eriksen, has returned. The second coming of Christian Eriksen, and I mean literally the second coming. When I say second coming, I mean second coming, right? You know, Jesus died. And, you know, they talk about the second coming of Jesus. Well, Christian Eriksen literally died, came back. See what I'm saying? The man's back from the dead. And you got to laud him, man. It's amazing. It's amazing to see Eriksen back in the league. And he will look to help Brentford stay up. You see what I'm saying? And even if Brentford do get relegated, and I don't know if he'll go down and play the championship, but it will still be a great story, man. You know what I mean? Christian Eriksen was brilliant at Tottenham, man. Brilliant. I think he was a bit lazy in terms of his work rate, but those dead ball situations and the through balls and everything, he was so exquisite. I think with him now fit again, that could be the creative force that Brentford needs. That could definitely be the help they need there. But let's see. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens, though. It'll be sad if Brentford gets relegated. Leeds, anybody who get relegated, it'll be sad. Maybe not Watford, but and maybe not Norwich, but the other teams, they just, they've been inspirational in some way, shape, or form this season, man. So welcome back, Christian Eriksen. I didn't actually watch this game. I saw a little piece of it, but well played, man. You see his Premier League career here with Tottenham over the years since 2013-14. That's what he given us 7 previous years in the Premier League, and now he's back for his 8th. You know what I mean? Look at that. 2017-18, 10 goals, 8 goals in 18-19, 8 goals in 6. So he had the goal contributions to go with the assists. How many assists did he get this season, man? They're not showing assists right there, but look, he had a great season there, and he was brilliant. He went to Inter. He did well, won the Scudetto as well. With Denmark at the Euros, went into cardiac arrest, and we almost lost him. So great to see him back in the league, though. Look, one guy that's under a lot of pressure, man. Thomas Frank, where he's at? Where is he? They don't have the managers here. Thomas Frank is under a whole lot of pressure right now because Brentford are not producing at all. And I mean not at all. 2-0 loss to Newcastle, 2-1 loss to Arsenal. The 0-0 draw against Crystal Palace was a breath of fresh air. But you got to go to the 2-0 loss against City, 4-1 loss in the F Cup against Everton, 2-1 loss to Wolves in the league, 3-1 loss to Man United, 3-0 loss to Liverpool, 4-1 loss to Southampton. You got to go all the way back to the game against Port Vale in the FA Cup where they won 4-1, and a 2-1 win on the 2nd of the January where they beat Aston Villa 1-0 for the last good Premier League result. So when you really go back and you look at the game against Southampton, right? January 11th is when things started to go south. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. You got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 9 games without a win. That is 9 games, 8 Premier League games without a win. Let's just put it that way. This is not good. If Brentford had picked up, right now, Brentford are on they're 15 to 24 points. If Brentford in their last 8 games had gotten 3 wins, 2 draws, that's 11 points. They would have been 35 points and staring safety in the eye. You see what I'm saying? Dead in the face. But they find themselves in a relegation scrap right now. And I think Thomas Frank, he should be a worried man. He could get the sack. I don't think they should sack him, but it's possible. It is possible, man. It is possible. And this was not a good performance in this game at all. The early red card was a setback. And you're coming up against a Newcastle team right now with the newfound form and everything. They're going to be hard to stop. So, look, Newcastle out the relegation zone right now and looking to pull others down. They go above Brentford with that win. And for Newcastle, their next game is against a struggling Brighton, Southampton. They do play Chelsea, Everton, Crystal Palace. Newcastle could win all of 4 of these next games and get ever so close to safety. So, in terms of Brentford, things going to get easier for them. Yeah. The next 2 games is of paramount importance. 6-pointers against Norwich and Burnley. They got to win at least one of these games. You got to win at least once. At least once. If you win one, lose one, it's fine. That's 3 points in the bag. You're getting closer to safety. But they cannot afford to lose any of these games because then you have Leicester, Chelsea, West Ham to come. You see what I mean? Luckily for them, they already played Liverpool twice and they already played Manchester City twice. So with those teams out of the way, yeah, there's possibility that you could get something against Tottenham, Man United, and Chelsea. There's a possibility there. It's not likely, but there's a possibility. I hope they survive, but you never know, man. You never know. You never know. Let's see what happens. Let us see what happens. Did I talk about Newcastle already? I think I did. So we're going to keep it moving. Big up to everybody in here, guys. We got 77 thumbs up. That means we need 23 more to hit 100. Could we hit 100 likes in today's live stream? I would actually love to see that. So Stink Mina is saying Fulham is the only team guaranteed promotion currently. And I'm fed up of seeing Fulham in the league. Fed up of seeing Fulham in the league, and then they come up, they spend 100 mil, and they don't survive. Fed up of Fulham. I'm absolutely fed up. They got 70 points right now in 33 games. Bournemouth got 61 points. So Fulham and Bournemouth, they're in the driver's seat. Just to touch on that. Huddersfield, a third. Huddersfield are back in the mix. Ooh, remember they got promoted recently? Blackburn Rovers, QPR, Luton Town, all in the mix. Sheffield United as well. Middlesbrough, Nottingham Forest, Coventry. All these teams got to be thrown into the mix. Preston, West Ham, Blackpool. You know, you're not going to go further than that. But the championship is a tricky league where 46 matches every season. And the season is winding down as well. And anything could happen in those last 10 games, where it's always very close. But Fulham are looking like they're going to get promoted again. Scoring for fun. And they're going to come back to the Premier League and not play Mitrovic. See what I'm saying? That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen, though. But, yeah. Be prepared to see Fulham again. And these days, they're under Marco Silva, you know what I mean? So Marco Silva, who was in charge of Watford and Everton previously in the Premier League, could be coming back with Fulham. So good comment. Very, very nice comment there, Stink Mina. Big up to the boy 80 Booth in the house. Back, of course, after an Aston Villa win. Have not seen 80 Booth in a while. Hopefully Blackburn, so the Ben Brereton Diaz story can continue. I don't know the story that well, but I know he's Chilean and he's been doing well for them. So, yeah. I don't know what other story you're talking about, but yeah. Big up to Online School in the house. Says rooting for Huddersfield and Blackburn Rovers. I want to see some fresh teams in the league, though. You know, if I could actually see, like, for example, Huddersfield, I don't really care about seeing them back, but Blackburn Rovers have not been in the league for some time. I wouldn't mind seeing Blackburn Rovers, Luton Town, you know what I'm saying, and a Forest. But that won't happen, of course. Fulham's coming back. Bournemouth might be back. But I think we're going to see, yeah, Bournemouth might just be back. But it might actually be Huddersfield, Bournemouth, or Blackburn, or even a QPR that's going to come up directly with Fulham. Then there's a playoff, of course. So Sheffield United, I don't really care too much about seeing them back in the league. Middlesbrough, I think Chris Wilder is in charge of Middlesbrough these days, right? Isn't he? Isn't Chris Wilder in charge of Middlesbrough? Yeah. Chris Wilder, you're a wild boy for buying, spending so much money on what's his name, man? Ryan Brewster. You know, I'll never ever forget what you did there. So I don't really care about seeing Chris Wilder back in the league either. No, Middlesbrough. But anyways, man, we're doing well. We talked West Ham, Wolves. We talked Burnley, Leicester. We talked Brighton, Aston Villa. We talked Man United, Watford. We talked Crystal Palace, Burnley. Brentford, Newcastle, Leeds, Tottenham, Southampton, Norwich. And let's talk about the big one, man. The elephant in the room here. Everton 0, Manchester City 1. Phil Foden with the only goal of the game in the 82nd minute. And I have to say, let me actually explode myself here. We got lucky. It was a lucky win. It was a lucky win. What is going on? What is going on? Lost to Tottenham. I think we actually played a lot better against Tottenham than we did against Everton. You see what I'm saying? We did. We scored 2 good goals, but we conceded 3. We were lucky against Everton. That penalty shout, Rodri with the dumb handball, how that wasn't given? By the grace of God. Because we could have seen a situation where, all right, Lampard said it's another example of the incompetent referees in the league, right? He might get a fine for that or something for saying things like that. But okay, what if the referees got it right? See what I'm saying? In quotation marks, right? What if the referees just say, hey, that's a penalty. Let's not even look at the other scenarios. They said it was offside in the build-up to that. They never showed it on TV. They never showed it on TV. So I'm not at the game. I'm watching TV. I see a handball, but I don't see no offside. You see what I'm saying? They don't show that. There was no transparency there at all. And this game was too tense. It was way too tense because we found it so hard to break down this Everton team. You got to give it to Jordan Pickford, some brilliant saves that he pulled off in that game. And they had some very good attacks as well. They were very, scary going forward. And the goal was a lucky goal. It was a lucky goal. The ball into the box, and then the diversion. Michael Keane not being able to sort his feet out, and then it fell to Foden, and Foden putting the ball away. But Foden had opportunities to score, and he didn't take his chances, right? We got a lucky goal. That was a lucky goal. That was pure luck. The stars aligned perfectly for that goal. Perfectly, where throughout the match, the stars forget how to align. But the stars align nicely. Got to give it to Phil Foden. Phil Foden is a match winner now, guys. A match winner. Do you believe that? Patience, perseverance actually pays off, guys. And even after the fight with his mom and that guy, he bounced back and he had a big performance in the game. Got to give it to Foden. But we got lucky. We got so lucky because I was getting off of work. I'm watching this game at work, on my way home from work. And I find myself for the last 2 Manchester City games, where the games are 12:30 matches, pulling over on the side of the road, this time in front of my house, and watching the game. I'm outside in front of the house watching the game. Very tensely on the edge of my seat. Come on. We get the goal. I'm happy. I cannot believe it. I'm lost for words. I'm like, how the hell did we manage to score? Okay, we scored. Yay. We're going to win the game. We're going to win the game. And then Rodri does something dumb. And I'm like, oh my God. We are surely going to concede now from a penalty. You see what I'm saying? Richarlison actually took the ball and put it down on the spot, I think. And it was a miracle. It was a miracle. You could call it the miracle at Goodison Park. It was a miracle that wasn't given a penalty. I'm going to keep it 100. I thought we were going to get a penalty and they would have scored a damn penalty, man. They would have scored it. Edison wasn't going to save that penalty. He wasn't going to save the penalty. I think Everton should have gotten a penalty. Seriously. We got saved by the grace of God. I don't know what happened there. Maybe the refs got it right, but I didn't see any. There was no evidence shown to me that they got it right. The commentators were saying that City, should have conceded a penalty there. I think a lot of the commentators are, against City too. So, and I watch it on NBC, Peacock, and now USA. So you got Graham Lasso and, a couple of I can't remember the names of the commentators, but they are definitely against Manchester City. I think they do have a Liverpool agenda, but, it is what it is. And I'm pretty sure the Liverpool fans were watching this game keenly, hoping and praying that we drop points. Wasn't a case. Wasn't a case at all. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't a case. We held on to a very lucky win. Very lucky. Sterling had a poor game like he had against Spurs. Bernardo is not a striker. And it goes back to the striker situation. Yeah, we are doing it without a striker. I know, we are doing it without a striker. But just think about what if we had a striker? What if City had a striker? The amount of balls that striker would have had to convert into goals, it would have been a ridiculous amount, right? But we don't have that striker. Foden was actually playing in that position most of the time. But he's not a striker, right? Think about what happened to us against Tottenham. Kane is a striker. Look at what he did. You see what I mean? I think City are still going to go back in for Harry Kane. City are going in for Harry Kane or Erling Haaland or both. I won't be surprised. Maybe not both, but... we need a striker. We need a striker. I'm convinced we need a striker because you need a striker for when in those type of games you have that man that could deliver. Jesus is supposed to be a striker. What happened? Pep's turned him into a winger. You feel me? So look, let's just touch on the whole Ukraine-Russia thing. Zinchenko and Mikolenko hugged and cried. And both teams poured out their thoughts and their, feelings towards the whole situation. And they stood up for Ukraine. So you gotta give that to the teams. We should have dropped points in that game. We should have dropped points. Really should have dropped points. Should have never won the game. Should have never won the game. I'm going to keep it 100 though. Last two games, very, very poor. Very poor. Everton are unlucky not to get something from the game. Calvert-Lewin missed the game. Thought he was going to feature. But the guys really went out there and put out a good performance. And it's sad to see them in the position that they're in. But they need to forget about the Man City game and look to the games that they have coming up and try to win those. I was going to say something, but I lost my train of thought there. But, we need a striker. Indeed. Gotta get a striker. Just relief, man. Just relief I felt after that game. Relief. I went in the house. I was like, woo. We almost lost. Tell my wife, we almost lost the game, wife. Thank God we didn't. Because I'm telling you, man, listen, it would have been crazy, man. Liverpool would have passed us. Indeed, they would have passed us. So, look, what are you guys saying, man? Lang and Sweet, Dominic, apparently we cheated. City didn't have anything to do with the decision, of course. So it can't be City that cheated. It was actually, you know what I'm saying? It was actually the ref's fault, if anything, not us. Big up to the obvious girl who says, "Oh no, not you expose yourself to talk about the lucky when it feels." What is that? Yeah, man. Look, harsher. Yeah, it was a lucky win. It was a lucky win, man. City didn't deserve to win. Yeah, we didn't. We really didn't. I'm gonna keep it real. We didn't deserve to win, man. We didn't deserve to win. 80 Boot is saying Julian Alvarez. I haven't seen enough of Alvarez though. Is Alvarez a striker or a winger? I think he's more of a winger. A more Ferran Torres type play, you know what I'm saying? So he's not a striker, but who knows what Pep would do. See what I'm saying? I don't think we would drop points if Mahrez started. Yeah, why didn't Mahrez start the game? I don't get Pep on his selection sometimes. John Stones at right back. You know, he played well. He had a nice shot that was saved by Pickford as well. But Everton, very unlucky not to get something from this game. So, look, let's go back. Everton 0, City 1. Phil Foden in the 82nd minute. Very, very tense and cagey affair. And look, well-needed result for City after the loss against Tottenham. In terms of the stats for this game, Everton 6 shots at goal, 2 on target, only 32% of the ball. City with only 13 shots at goal, 13, 8 on target, 68% of the ball. And now I got my trainer taught again, where I wanted to mention this. Sometimes when the tiki-taka, passing the ball around, does not work, throw the long ball in the box, man. Throw in a long ball, man. It works. Hit a shot from distance. Send something long down into the box. You see, it doesn't matter how many players you got down there. You could have 7 in defense. A long ball come up and bounce around. A player make a mistake. It falls to your player in the open. You put it in the back of the net. It works. I'm not saying to play like Burnley or the Ireland national team. You see what I'm saying? But try something different from time to time, man. You see what I mean? Hit some shots from outside the box. It might hit a player. And deflect past the goalkeeper. You see what I mean? Come on, I know what I'm talking about. I'm not just saying these things to just say these things. I know what I'm talking about. But, yeah, man. It's a lucky win, if you ask me. So, look. Manchester City have won each of their last 10 matches against Everton in all competition, making it Pep Guardiola's joint longest winning run against an opponent in his managerial career, also 10 versus Watford. Everton have won just 2 of their last 18 Premier League matches since the start of October. Their 9 points in this time is the fewest any side in the division since October. So Everton are dead last in the league since October, right? Everton have 22 points from 24 Premier League matches this season. Their lowest tally at this stage of a league campaign, assuming 3 points for a win all time since 1929-30, when they were relegated from the top flight. So if history repeats itself, Everton FC will be relegated from the Premier League or from the top flight for only the 3rd time in their history. Only the 3rd time. No team has been relegated on fewer occasions than Everton. Everyone else has been relegated sometime or the other, more than twice. But Everton, only twice have they ever been relegated. It seems like it could happen this season. It seems like it could happen. Would they be able to pull themselves out of this hole? This is a real hole, man. Not just a proverbial hole. It's a real one. They do have Boham Wood in the FA Cup. They will look to stay in that competition. But the upcoming games are not going to be easy. You got Tottenham, Wolves, Newcastle, Watford. Yeah, Watford might be a game. But it's a rough look. You play Arsenal on the last day. Everton, they got to beat Brentford. You got to win the games they can win, right? You got to win the game against Brentford. You got to beat a struggling Leicester City. You got to beat Crystal Palace. You got to beat Watford. And you got to beat one of Newcastle or Wolves. And this is how they survive. Everton's survival hinge on winning the games against the teams that historically they would beat. Not depend on beating Man United, nor Liverpool, nor Chelsea, nor even on Arsenal. But, the possibilities are there against Arsenal too, but they would need to win their other game. I think they'll survive. I think they'll just survive. But it'll be a wake-up call for Everton, indeed. That Rafa Benitez appointment, shocking to say the least. And he left the team in a very bad state. Very, very bad state. So, yeah. On the other end of the spectrum, though, at the other end of the spectrum where you want to be, it's Manchester City. 66 points after 27 matches played. You heard it right. 66 points. Last season, Leicester got 66 points after 38 games. Chelsea only picked up 67 points last season. Okay? Just to put in perspective of how well Man City are doing this season. 3 draws, 3 losses, 21 wins. City got the most wins in the league. Liverpool got 18 wins in the league. City got 21. Liverpool do have a game in hand. That's the only team that comes close. 6 draws for Liverpool, 2 losses. That's the difference right there. The wins and the draws right there. But Liverpool are basically within 3 points of Manchester City. The race is on. The race is on. It's on. With 11 matches left. 11 matches left, including an encounter against Liverpool. Man City still got to play United, Crystal Palace, Brighton, Burnley, Liverpool, Wolves, Watford, Leeds, Newcastle, West Ham, and Aston Villa. Okay? The game against Liverpool is a key game. It's key. That might be the decider for the season. That might indeed be the decider. Because the other teams, they could spring a surprise, but that's all. That's it. A surprise. It's just a surprise that they could spring on the day. But we've seen a City team, especially going back to the season where we won it by a point. When I think there remaining 14 matches on the bounce, if I'm not mistaken. And Liverpool lost the season by a point. You see what I mean? So don't put it past this Manchester City team to win their remaining 11 games. Okay? Don't at all. Or win 10 and draw the game against Liverpool, which would be enough. You see what I mean? Just enough. For Liverpool, however, guys, for Liverpool, they do have West Ham, Brighton, Arsenal, United, Watford, City. They got the big Merseyside derby against Everton, Tottenham, Southampton, Wolves, Newcastle. Are Liverpool going to win all those games? Maybe, maybe not. The point I'm trying to make is it's going to be a hell of a Premier League title race. And I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. Which means that every single time that I go live for the remainder of the season, it's going to be hot. It's going to be hot. I'm loving it. We went through a period in December and January where the interest was dwindling. People were losing hope. You got to thank Man City, or you got to thank Southampton and Tottenham for basically bringing Liverpool back into the Premier League title race. and not so much Manchester City. City did what they had to do, but those teams just rose to the occasion. And guys, as I change up the branding in the background right now, we do a few branding change. We are gonna talk about the big one, right? But before we do, let me talk to the boys and girls in the chat. Big up to everybody, man. The obvious girl. What's with our defense though? They could keep the ball out of our half in the last. They couldn't keep the ball out of a half. Yeah, I've talked about the defense. I mentioned the defense. That was the players to watch was Ruben Diaz and Laporte. Our defense, it has definitely it have looked suspect. And I think one of the reasons why our defense is looking a bit suspect as well, it does look suspect at times, is because we don't do enough defending during games. We always on the attack. We always have the ball for 70% of the game. 70% possession for most of the games, right? The defenders are just passing around the ball. Hardly defending. Hardly ever defending. So when you really have a game where you have to really, really, really defend, we look suspect. You see what I'm saying? We look really, really suspect. I'm not saying these guys are not quality defenders, but if you spend a very long time not being tested, when you really go up against the or get tested, you look really suspect, man. You know, so I think that's what's going on with City. Please. Oh, I thought you were talking. I thought you said Rodri had a good day. I'm like, please don't talk about Rodri. Please. Rodri, man, you almost messed up my day, man. Anyways, let's talk. Let me refresh this. You're going to see the fireworks right here. Let's click this. Actually, let's go back. Congratulations to Liverpool. Congrats on winning the 2021-22 Carabao Cup final. I made the right call. I didn't predict the right scoreline, but I made the right call. And I'm happy I made the right call. You know what I mean? It's good to make the right call. Because if I had said Chelsea would have won the Carabao Cup final, the Liverpool fans would have been on my ass right now. You see what I'm saying? But the Liverpool fans would actually be just giving me praises. They would be saying good things about me. They would be telling me thanks for relinquishing the Carabao Cup and, you know, passing it over to Liverpool. But before I get deeper into this, right, I'll just congrats to Liverpool and their fans, right? But the way Liverpool celebrated this, the way Klopp celebrated, the way the players celebrated, you could see how much it meant to them. You could see how much this little Carabao Cup trophy meant to Liverpool and their fans. It meant a lot. And it came as a big surprise to me because this was a trophy that Klopp and the Liverpool fans, the players, they were all talking down this trophy. Get rid of the Carabao Cup. It's too extra. Think of player welfare. You know, maybe the trophy is unnecessary. It's City's cup. It's the Mickey Mouse Cup. And I couldn't believe what I was seeing there. This was such a high-stake game. The way Liverpool and Chelsea played on the day, it was, you could have, you would have thought, if you didn't know, somebody could have convinced you that that was a Champions League final. Seriously. it was a good game. It could have went either way. I think Liverpool do deserve it at the end of the day. And kudos to Chelsea for actually going out there and playing some good football as well, where they coulda, woulda won it. You know what I'm saying? Very poor finishing by Chelsea, I gotta say. But look, in terms of both teams here and their journey in the EFL Cup, let's touch on that a little bit. I just want to touch on that a little bit before I really get into things. And I'm trying to just go back to when these teams first went into the competition. I think they came in the third round, where Chelsea defeated Aston Villa 5-4 on penalties. And you guys would understand why Kepa was actually brought into the team as well, where it took penalties for them to get over Aston Villa, right? For Liverpool, in their game in the third round, Liverpool defeated Norwich 3-0. In the fourth round, for Chelsea in the fourth round, they had to get over Southampton as well, 5-4 on pens. So you see what's going on here, right? You see what's going on here. For Liverpool, they defeated Preston 2-0. In the quarterfinals, Liverpool had to get the better of Leicester on penalties as well, 8-7 on penalties. And I think Kelleher was involved in that penalty shootout. Yes, he was. For Chelsea, they beat Brentford 2-0. So Chelsea had to play against all Premier League oppositions in the entire Carabao Cup competition. Semi-final against Spurs, Chelsea won 2-0 in the first leg and 1-0 in the second. Liverpool 0-0 against Arsenal and 2-0 in the second leg. And they met for the grand final. And it was indeed a grand final, a high-stake game for the first trophy available in England, apart from the Community Shield, of course, this season, right? First trophy. I remember I called this I talked up this trophy, and everyone said, man, stop talking about this trophy. This trophy ain't no damn trophy to be talking about. You see what I mean? And I'm talking all facts here. I'm happy for Liverpool. I would have been happy for Chelsea too, who won the Club World Cup recently and the Super Cup already this season. So they've won silverware. Both teams have won silverware already this season. So in terms of the lineups here, let's just take a look at the lineups here for both teams. And for Chelsea, Thomas Tuchel went in with Edward Mendy. And I don't understand Tuchel, right? Because you either go in with Kepa and stay with Kepa, because he was the man in the cup all season. You sort of betrayed him, played Mendy, and then you question Mendy's ability in a penalty shootout where he recently proved that he could manage a penalty shootout at the Africa Cup of Nations. You took him out, brought in Kepa, and that was ultimately the change that lost Chelsea the final, right? Where Kepa, instead of taking a penalty, took a goal kick. See what I mean? Trevor Chalobah involved ahead of Andreas Christensen, who fell ill or got injured. Thiago Silva, Rudiger, expected those guys to play. Aspilicueta ahead of James coming back from injury. Kante and Kovacic ahead of Jorginho. Alonso, he's the only left back, so, he featured. Pulisic, Mount, and Havertz, they all deserve to be caned. See those 3 chairs over there? Bend over. 100 lashes apiece. Because these guys are so wasteful, man. Wasteful on the day. It's like Chelsea the players were born offside as well. And another big talking point is Romelu Lukaku not being involved from the start. So that's what Chelsea looked like from the get-go. For Liverpool, I expected the front three of Diaz, Mane, and Salah. These guys have been in good form, and they played well in the match for the most part. Naby Keita was a late addition after Thiago got injured for the game and was in tears. I think Thiago had a feeling that Liverpool were going to win the match. Fabinho has been huge. What a panenka by him. Henderson, captain, back, lifting another trophy. And the back line, as expected, Robertson, Van Dijk, Matip, and Alexander-Arnold. But the the biggest decision that Klopp had to make, where I think he made the decision already, where he said Kelleher would be his goalkeeper in the final, and probably his only injury would have prevented him from making the cut. Klopp stuck with his word, and Klopp said sometimes being human has to take precedent over being a professional. And I think Tuchel was more a professional on the day than a human. You see what I'm saying? Whereas Klopp was more human. You see what I'm saying? And that's why I think the fans love Klopp a lot, because of more things like this and decisions like that. Because Tuchel, he's thinking, he's being very robotic when you think about it. He's thinking, look at how he's behaving on the touchline every time Chelsea miss a shot or they were offside and he's celebrating. Come on, man. You know what I mean? You know, in the end, when you really look at it, Tuchel never really kept his poise on the day. He really didn't. And Klopp is the one who did, kept his calm and everything, and was ultimately rewarded. And the decision to play Kelleher, second fiddle goalkeeper, the boy Quivine, above Alisson, big Brazilian goalkeeper, who logically I would have played Alisson. I don't care. See what I'm saying? I don't care how many games Kelleher played in the cup. I'm playing Alisson. I'm playing my best team. Klopp played Kelleher, and Kelleher was a hero at the end of the day when you really think about it. Great saves made throughout the game. So did Mendy. The goalkeeping display on the day, top notch. I think Lev Yashin would actually be proud of the goalkeeping on the day. The football on the day, top notch. A great advert for the EFL, a great advert for the Premier League. You got to give it to both Chelsea and Liverpool, who are showing that they're both top Premier League teams. Top of the line Premier League teams. Look, teams haven't been able to separate themselves this season, but their position in the league is not down to how they play against themselves or each other. It's how you play against the other 19 teams in the league, right? Chelsea, they're a quality team. Liverpool, a quality team. City, a quality team. You see what I'm saying? And there's a few more other quality teams, you know what I mean? But it's how you play against the other 19 teams that determine your league status. But for Cup, anything could happen. You see what I'm saying? Anything could happen in a Cup final. And anything could happen when you have a Liverpool coming up against a Chelsea, and they were evenly matched on the day. This was even as a game could be. Off the bench, Ibrahima Konate, James Milner, Diogo Jota, Divock Origi, Harvey Elliott for Liverpool, Reece James, Timo Werner, Lukaku, and Jorginho, along with Kepa for Chelsea. They could have actually used an extra sub apiece, but the teams didn't choose to pick the extra sub. So we take a look at here. German managers. I think now Klopp has become the first German manager to win the League Cup, if I'm not mistaken. And wasn't Klopp the first German manager to win the Premier League as well? So got to give it to Jurgen Klopp, man. Battle of the Germans. Klopp gets the better of Tuchel once again, where both managers have taken the same trajectory in the managerial career, managing both Mainz and Dortmund, and now managing Premier League clubs as well. Champions League final and loss for both of them. Champions League final and won in the next season. So it was a great spectacle, man. Great spectacle. And in terms of the game, guys, let's just pull up the stats here. as I just go through each and every one of the key moments of this match. So, big chance, big chance in the early stages of the game. 6-minute, Pulisic, I don't know how he don't score. And point blank range set up by Azpilicueta. Kelleher with the big save. So, when I tell you got to give it to Kelleher, that was a magnificent save. Chelsea should, I think, look, even though Liverpool had their chances, the game could have went a different way if Chelsea had taken theirs, right? Where Liverpool would have had to chase, they would have left themselves open, and they would have been susceptible to conceding more goals. But Chelsea just couldn't score, and they had the better chances. Liverpool had some good chances in the game, but Chelsea had some, like, put the ball in the back of the net, like, here, it's there, take it, kind of chances. It's right there, here you go. These chances were put on a platter for Chelsea. Liverpool had their chance there in the 18th minute when Mane had a ball put in by Trent and he didn't connect with the header. Mane's good with the head. On any other day, he buries that, right? And then Liverpool had a great period where they had a double chance and Mendy pulling off some world-class saves there. I still don't think Mendy's the best goalkeeper in the world, but still, who am I to say he's not, right? So, big save from the Naby Keita shot. Let me just drink a little coconut water and quench my thirst. I've been talking a lot, you know what I'm saying? The other day I said lubricate. I shouldn't say I lubricate my throat or anything like that. That's not right. That's not right. But look, the double save by Mendy, big point in the game as well. Keita with a good shot. I think Naby Keita played very well on the day. Gotta give it to Keita. He wasn't even supposed to start, but he played well. And Mendy with the double save after the rebound. How he came up. Look, the way he got up and saved that Mane shot was reminiscent of me playing FIFA career mode. It's a career mode goalkeeper kind of move. You know what I mean? Don't know how the goalkeepers be getting up so quick. And that was actually the reason I think maybe Mendy played above Kepa. Because if that was Kepa, that's a goal. That's a goal. Maybe even the first shot would have gone in. No disrespect, but Kepa, most expensive goalkeeper of all time, is not that good. Look, there was a chance in the 42nd minute for Azpilicueta that he put over, that he came close. Chelsea looked very dangerous on the counter throughout the first half, where Liverpool dominated possession. Chelsea just defended in numbers, soak up the pressure and transition, broke, and they really looked good on the counter attacks, but just couldn't score as well. Huge chance in the 45th minute for Mason Mount, and I don't know how he missed that. Really don't know how he missed the goal, but Mason Mount, this is a game to forget. This is a game in the future, right? When Mason Mount's retired and he's doing interviews and they bring up the Carabao Cup final of 2022, Mason Mount might just walk out of interviews because he's like, I don't want to talk about that. That's a horrible memory, and you're bringing up scars right now. You know what I mean? Come on, don't do that. Don't do that. You're unearthing scars. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Stop it. It was a game to forget. And the first big thing that happened in the second half was Mason Mount hitting the post after a brilliant ball played over Liverpool's defense. I don't understand how. I'm still trying to figure out how Mason Mount didn't score. And Chelsea should have been comfortably in the lead. I know Liverpool had their chances, but those chances that Chelsea had, the Azpilicueta, the Pulisic, and the two chances by Mount, Chelsea should have been up by at least, let's leave margin for error, at least 2 goals. They should have been 2-0 up. 0-0. I think they created the better chances, but just didn't capitalize. The game was played at a very, very high tempo. And at that point of the game, about the 1 hour mark, Liverpool had 62% of the ball. 62%. You heard that right. 62. You see, they finished with 55%, but they had most of the ball, but it was Chelsea creating those chances. You got to give it to the Chelsea defense for keeping Liverpool quiet as well. There was a moment where Keita and Chalobah clashed, and there was actually a VAR review, nothing given, rightfully so. I think it was just a 50-50. Kelleher had to make a save from a Mason Mount shot again. So big up to Kelleher for the performance, and Mount for being very inept in goal. Not very good on the day. Salah had a chance, but I think he was too casual, where he was played in behind and he tried to chip the ball but didn't get enough on the ball, and it was cleared even before it got to the line. So that's a chance there that Liverpool should have actually scored, but they were showing signs. And then the goal came from a Trent Alexander-Arnold free kick headed across the goal by Mane and headed in by Joel Matip. And they celebrated, but then, of course, VAR had to be involved, and they ruled out the goal. The goal was disallowed for Van Dijk fouling Reece James, who had came into the game. So I was like, whoa, what happened there? The thing I don't like about VAR is they just find some way to look into every single thing, you know what I mean? Where before, that would have never been spotted. If there was no VAR, that would have been a goal. That would have been a goal. Tuchel reacted. Made a few subs. Werner, Lukaku came on. He took Mount and Pulisic out the game. Another question, right? Let me just click the lineup again. Let me just double check the... Oh, maybe Hakim Ziyech may have been injured because he wasn't involved. I think Ziyech probably was injured. I didn't see that during the build-up. I didn't really see anything about Ziyech being injured during the build-up, but I guess Ziyech, this game was probably screaming out for Hakim Ziyech in a Chelsea perspective, right? So, and big up to Chelsea perspective as well. How are you doing if you're watching this? But look, Thomas Tuchel tried to affect the game and brought on Lukaku, brought on Werner. Luis Diaz had a chance in the 75th, saved, poor finish, I think. And Chelsea scored, but Havertz was offside. I think Chelsea's forwards were actually, it's like they were born offside, man, because I don't understand how you score so many offside goals in one game. And they were like, with the exception of the Lukaku goal, that one was touch and go. All the others were like really offside. Havertz was poor under in terms of his positioning, but finishing, he finished, but it didn't count. Luis Diaz in the 87th minute, Luis Diaz had a bright game, and he has definitely hit the ground running in the Premier League. And you got to commend players like Diaz. You got to commend Dejan Kulusevski. You got to commend players like Thomas Shusek and Vladimir Kufal, who just came into the Premier League and said, what is the Premier League? It's like any other league. And they just hit the ground running, you know what I mean? But Diaz had a shot blocked. The rebound was dealt with. And then there was a Virgil van Dijk header in the 91st minute that was saved by Mendy. And the rebound was kept out as well. So the goalkeeping display on the day was upper echelon stuff, you know. Lukaku had the chance saved in the 95th minute by Kelleher as well. So it was top class stuff. Top class. This game could have went anyway, but of course it had to finish 0-0 and go all the way to pens, right? Look, in the 30-minute period, before they started, you know, the players were exhausted. You know what I'm saying? The players were knackered. After the rigorous schedule, they had to play 30 minutes again. You see what I'm saying? But that was a test of mental and physical strength, which Liverpool prevailed, by the way, and they proved to be better than Chelsea when it comes to that. Even if one player had to be the fall guy, Liverpool still, you know, earned more marks at the end of the day. Lukaku in the 8th minute of extra time scored, but the flag came up very close. I think that was touch and go. For a moment, I actually thought the green line was going to pop up when they showed a VAR offside check on the screen, and I was like, God damn, that was close. That was like marginal. Like it was just his shirt sleeve. It was a shirt sleeve, basically, that was offside, when you really think about it. Havertz did score again in the 30th minute of extra time, like the last kick of the ball, probably final moments, last big play at least, and that was offside as well. And I was like, what is going on with Chelsea? So at the end of the day, when you really look back at it, Chelsea had opportunities to win this game within 90 and even in extra time, but just couldn't hold their runs and just didn't take their chances. So stars just aligned for Liverpool on the day, where Jurgen Klopp even said they needed a little bit of luck on the day, and they got that luck. Where the luck even swung Liverpool's way as well is maybe if Edward Mendy went into that penalty shootout, Chelsea could have won the game, right? All right. Kepa's done it before. He's come into games off the bench and won penalty shootouts. So for Tuchel, he's thinking logically, I'm going to be predictable, take Mendy off, bring on Kepa, and repeat the trick again. No, it never happened, man. 21 penalties were put in. 21. And the 22nd penalty was not even a penalty. It was a goal kick taken by Kepa. It was a brilliant penalty shootout. It's one of the most tense penalty shootouts I've ever seen. Milner stepped up. He dispatched. Alonso dispatched. Fabinho, cooler than Gregory Isaacs himself with a Panenka. Lukaku under immense pressure in the media. Big money, he put away brilliantly. Virgil van Dijk put away brilliantly. Havertz did well. Trent Alexander-Arnold put away. Reece James put away. Salah put away. Jorginho hopped and skipped and put away. Into sudden death, Diego Jota was a bit nervous, but he put it away. Rudiger was cool. Origi was even cooler. N'Golo Kante put away his penalty. Andy Robertson, a little nervous, but he put his away. Even Timo Werner almost got his save, but he, sneaked it into the back of the net. Harvey Elliott, one of the only, if not, I think Harvey Elliott was actually the only, Harvey Elliott was one of the fewer left footers that took kicks on the day. Yeah, there was a few. There was Robertson, Salah, Lukaku, Havertz, Alonso. Yeah. But Harvey Elliott, the youngest on the day to take a penalty, and he put his penalty away. He wasn't even supposed to play the game. So that's how the stars definitely aligned for Liverpool. Harvey Elliott wasn't supposed to play. Naby Keita wasn't supposed to really start the game. And everything just aligned, man. Everything aligned. Thiago Silva stepped up, put away. Konate, he took the worst penalty of all the penalty takers, where Kepa got a hand to it, and that ended up in the back of the net. Trevor Chalobah put away coolly. And the penalty taken by Quiveen Kelleher, that was an exquisitely taken penalty. And up step Kepa Arrizabalaga. Guys, I had to laugh. I was at work. I was on overtime. And I was praying I didn't have to get out of my pickup to, go do something. Because I would have missed this very hilarious penalty. That has to be one of the worst penalties of all time. Of all time. You see what I'm saying? That penalty is the worst penalty. Actually, it's worse than the Ademola Lookman penalty from last season. This is the worst penalty I've ever seen in such a crunch game, where Kepa just didn't take his time. He was in goal kick mode and skied it. You know when you play FIFA and you got a penalty to take, and maybe your girl come in the room and ask you something and distract you, and you don't take the penalty, and then the computer takes the penalty for you, and they just sky it. That's what Kepa basically did on the day. Yeah, that Simone Zaza penalty was really bad too, from the Euros, right? That was from the Euros. Nah, this one was the worst penalty, man. It's a crunch game. It's a cup final. It's a cup final where you could have taken the kicks into another round, and I would have wanted to see the other round, though. And Kepa blasted it into Rosette. Liverpool celebrated like they had just won the Champions League. Look, which celebration was more emphatic? The Champions League celebration or this one, man? Seriously. Because, look, Liverpool was actually, over the moon, ecstatic about it. And as I said, I was surprised. I was really surprised that the Liverpool players reacted like this. This could have been the same Liverpool that was talking shit about the Carabao Cup last 5 seasons or so. You see what I'm saying? It couldn't be. But well deserved at the end of the day. I called it. I got it right. And Liverpool are the new champions of the EFL Carabao Cup, the League Cup. I think they're the most successful team in terms of the League Cup as well, where they have, I think Liverpool now have 8 League Cup titles, and Manchester City got about 7 if I'm not mistaken. So results by club, let me see. Yeah, Liverpool do have 9 right now, and City got 8. So Liverpool and City were tied, and now Liverpool are the most successful team in terms of the League Cup, where they have won it in 2021-22, 2011-12, 02-03, 2000 2001, 94-95, 83-84, 82-83, 81-82, and 81-80-81. So congratulations to the Reds, who also made the finals in 1977-78, 86-87, 2004-05, and 15-16, Klopp's first domestic final where he lost to City. And got to give it up to Klopp. He's been in quite a few finals where he lost. You think about that Europa League final against Sevilla. You think about the Carabao Cup final against Man City. And of course, you think about the Champions League final where he lost and went on to win it the next year. So kudos to Klopp, kudos to Liverpool. Klopp's building a wicked team right now. He's had a good team. He's helped rebuild Liverpool. And it's surprising that this is only his second domestic trophy since he came in 2015. You see what I'm saying? So Klopp's been there for a while. That's 7 years. Only 2 domestic trophies. Come on, man. Come on. You gotta win a couple more. A Champions League to go with that, a Club World Cup and a Super Cup. But yeah, man, you gotta win a couple more domestic trophies. Liverpool got their tails up. They talking quadruple, Champions League, FA Cup, even the league to go with the League Cup. Could it happen? It's left to be seen. Very unlikely, but who knows? It is still possible. Look, hard luck to Chelsea. Hard luck. They have competed. Chelsea have actually been in the final of a domestic cup for the past 6 years. Every year, Chelsea, I think, find themselves in the final of either the FA Cup or the League Cup, I think. I think that's a stat that was out there as well. So, yeah. Yeah, man. Congrats to Liverpool. In terms of, and hard luck to Chelsea. Hard luck. They must have felt, away. See the stats here. Liverpool with 20 shots at goal, 6 on target, 55% of the ball. Chelsea, 11 shots, 4 on target, 45% of the ball. A lot of offsides in there as well. So, in terms of we don't have anything else to really touch on here in terms of insights or anything. But I wanted to pull up some Opta stats for this one as well. I'm pretty sure there's some Opta stats. And it's a Twitter, Opta Joe. My Twitter is defaulted to Opta Joe though. So 10. Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp has now won the 10th trophy of his managerial career. 5 with Borussia Dortmund, the Bundesliga twice, the FL Cup, Super Cup twice, and the DFB Pokal once. And 5 with Liverpool, Premier League, Champions League, Super Cup, Club World Cup, and the League Cup. Juggernaut. I think, you know, the Club World Cup and the Super Cup is, you know what I mean? But the Champions League is the crown in Klopp's, the jewel in Klopp's crown so far. And that one Premier League title that he won. But I think it should have been more. This Liverpool team is good enough that they should have won a couple more trophies. You see what I'm saying? Because if you think about what Pep's done in that same period, yeah, he haven't won the Champions League, I know. But the amount of League Cups, the FA Cup, the league titles, you see what I'm saying? Put in the Community Shields as well. So, still, but not to take anything away from Klopp. I'm just saying, and I know Liverpool fans, even though they're grateful for the silverware, would think that, yeah, there could be a bit more, but maybe for the future. You see what I'm saying? Maybe for the future. 9. Liverpool have won the League Cup for the 9th time in their history. Now an outright record surpassing Manchester City. Glorious. 11-10. Liverpool's 11-10 shootout win over Chelsea is the highest scoring penalty shootout between two English top flight teams. Tense. And you could see the Liverpool team celebrating there. You know that run after you win a penalty shootout. Picturesque. Picturesque, man. Picturesque. If only this Liverpool team was as good as Manchester City, you know what I'm saying? I gotta hit you with a few jabs, man. I gotta hit you with a few jabs. Look, 2. This is the first time two managers of the same nationality will face each other in a League Cup final since the 2012 final where Kenny Dalglish and Malky Mackay, and the first time ever that two non-British managers of the same nationality are facing in the showpiece Affinity. 28 Chelsea, 28 years, 91 days against Liverpool, 28 years, 115 days is the first time both League Cup finalists have had a starting 11 of average age of 28 plus since Bolton versus Middlesbrough in 2004. Trusted. All right. To the marks, 23 years since the last time a team fielded an all-English starting 11 in the Premier League, with Aston Villa doing so versus Coventry in 1999. Who did that? Who did that, though? Who did that? To the mark, the first... Oh, 23 years. Okay. Because I'm like, I can't remember anything like that happening this weekend in this day and age. You see what I'm saying? But anyways, man, that's my thoughts on the Carabao Cup final. It's now 20 past midnight local time here in New York City. If you guys have any question for me, let me know. Let me know. Could stick around and talk a bit. We got Michael in the house. How are you doing, Michael? He says Virgil van Dijk penalty was so disrespectful. Kepa had no chance, and then the stare down. What about Trent Alexander-Arnold with the Klopp punch? You know what I'm saying? You know? Liverpool were pumped up, man. They were pumped up. They were pumped up. All right. Dom, I believe they celebrated it hard because it was against Chelsea. The nature of the game, and most importantly, because they missed out on celebrating the EPL with their fans 2 seasons back. Don't make no excuses right now. Don't come making the excuses for celebrating a trophy that you guys talked a lot of shit about last season, okay? Please don't. Please don't, okay? Please don't. Salah was really poor. How Mane came off before Salah was pathetic like Klopp. Well, City wouldn't know how to celebrate a UCL, would they, Dom? No, we don't. Okay, we know this. We know this. Come on, man. Come on. Mr. Nicholas is saying, Dom, don't be a sadist. City has been winning this for a very long time, and your team has been celebrating too, as they have been winning the UCL. So let the lads celebrate too. It means so much to the young lads. No, that's not the point, man. That's not the point. We celebrate everything. We put our best foot forward in everything. Liverpool, not so much. You see what I'm saying? When it comes to the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, Klopp has been disrespecting these trophies. We know this. Let's not act like we don't notice. This has been a talking point for years. But this season, Klopp took it serious. You see what I'm saying? Took it very serious, and he was rewarded. And it shows that when you take things serious, you get rewarded. Not all the time, but still. Can't take things too serious, but still, man. You know what I mean? But yeah. Okay. Dom, only 3 trophies separate Pep and Klopp. 2 league titles, 1 FA Cup, 3 Carabao Cups, 2 Community Shields. Do you mean to say the Community Shield is something to celebrate? Come on, man. No, I never said that. I never said that. But it's still a trophy. But the league titles. You see what I'm saying? The league titles, man. The league titles. The consistency in the Carabao Cup. An FA Cup win. Look. Liverpool made it to a Champions League final and lost it. And what happened the next year? They won it. City made it to a Champions League final last year, lost it. And this year, they're going to win it. And I can't wait for the team to do so. So I could, so we could shut up everybody. Could put a big piece of freaking duct tape on everybody's mouths. Collectively. Okay? So yeah, man. Guys, it's late. I've been here for 2 hours, 40 minutes. I didn't even realize the time went by so fast. And I'm about to get up out of here, man. I want to talk the other leagues and things like that. But guys, we're going to have to save this for another time. I'm going to have to talk FA Cup or something during the week and talk about some other things. Maybe tomorrow or Tuesday. No promises, but let's see. Let us see. When's the FA Cup game start? Is it on Tuesday? Let me see something. Because I work overtime at my job today. I don't want to stay overtime tomorrow. I hate doing back-to-back days overtime. So, yeah, man. Today's Monday. So the Carabao Cup starts. And the Carabao Cup. The FA Cup starts tomorrow, which is Tuesday. Today's Monday. So I might be live later to just talk a bit of FA Cup and touch on the other leagues and things like that. You know what I mean? Talk about maybe the quadruple. Maybe that would bring you guys to the stream. Could Liverpool win the quadruple this season? 200 Liverpool fans in the stream. Anyways, man, I'm just messing with you guys, man. Look, it was nice. We got 122 likes. God damn, we did great. It was fun streaming again. It's hard to do these, guys. Let me just put it out. It's hard after a 12-hour day on the job. You see what I'm saying? To come and do these. I'm telling you. That's why I really pushed everything back late. Sometimes on a Sunday, I used to be here early. But man. It's hard being an adult. Just put it out there. It's hard, man. I'm getting old. I'm feeling the age, man. I'm 35 years old. I got 3 kids. I got a wife. It's really taking a toll on me. Seriously. You know what I mean? My hands are hurting me right now. I don't even know why. Strange things are happening to me, man. You know what I mean? I don't know why, man. See what I'm saying? Soon my whole bed is going to be gray. But anyways, guys, big up to Alejandro Loaiza in the house. Big up to the Ecuadorian in the house. How you doing? Big up to Mr. Maul in here as well. Everybody, Dane Richards, man. How you doing? Mr. Kumar, Mr. Afewok. Everybody who came through today supported the thing. You know, the thing gonna be hot for the remainder of the season, though. I think I'm gonna look to do some more live streams. We've been doing well this year as well, guys. Just so you know, just to give you a health status on the channel, we've been doing fairly okay this year, man. You know, January, February is finishing. We've been doing pretty fine. You know what I'm saying? Maybe from the outside looking in, it doesn't look like it. We don't get the big sensational type of views, but we do well, man. You see what I mean? I'm not full time. I do this in my spare time. I do this when I can, especially these days. So we're doing pretty well, okay? So don't ever compare me to these guys who are doing it every day. Don't. I'm not in any competition with anybody either. So guys, look, thanks for tuning in to another one. Like the video if you haven't yet done so. This is Premier League Match Week 27 and the Carabao Cup final review. I'll be back maybe to talk FA Cup, maybe not. Maybe I'll just give it a break. Maybe I'll just take a break this week. I've been doing that as well. And we'll be back for Match Week 28. We'll be back for Match Week 28. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but we'll see. It's according to how I feel, man. Okay, so guys, thank you very much for tuning in. I gotta get up. Literally, it's 12:27 right now, which means I gotta basically be up in 4 hours and about 15 minutes. I got 4 hours and 15 minutes. Being an adult is rough. But guys, a responsible adult, I should say. But guys, thanks again for tuning in. Don't forget you could head on over to cardsplug.com. Cardsplug. Nice cards on the wall. You could get you one by using the coupon code Dominic Rich FC. You get 35% off plus, you know, taxes and shipping or whatever else entails. But all the links will be in the description box down below. Okay? So, from my boy Dom, thanks again. Until next time. Peace out. Rich Squad. Peace and love.